Hey guys, how are we all doing today? Good to see you all here. I think my mic is working. Had a few hiccups earlier on, but it should be working now. I saw some of you asking in the chat, will there be guest characters in this? Absolutely not. There'll be no guest characters, including Kratos. Zero guest characters. They're not part of the Mortal Kombat world, really. And I guess we're gonna wait until Tom gets here to go over the criteria. I think the general criteria is gonna be on based on their lore and their story and their character design. So it'll be like their gameplay over the years, their character design, how they look, and their story. For those of you probably wondering, how do we do this with MK1? Because MK1 kind of messed up all of the characters. On my tier list, I've actually separated them. It sounds a bit crusty. Let's have a look. That's why. That should be better now. I'm actually going to be reading chat. I always read chat. Okay, I didn't do what Finn T did yesterday. Finn was actually not reading chat. If Tom is talking, I can't butt in if you guys are asking questions. I have to wait until he's finished talking. Finn did something else yesterday. Finn closed the chat. The reason he wasn't reading my chat is he actually closed it. When I texted him on Discord, I was like, "What are you doing, bro?" And he said to me, "Oh, sorry, I didn't have chat open." No, I promise you guys, I can see the chat on the screen. I can literally see it. I'm looking at it right now. It's just I can't always respond to everything you say, and sometimes for some reason, the chat is delayed when I do OBS streaming. But on here, it's pretty quick. But I do read them. It's just I can't interrupt my guests when they're talking. Mr. Mars, thank you for the 199. Finally got 8 miles down before the year ended. Hey, that's hey, W's in the chat for Mr. Mars, man. Well done. That's tough. That is tough. I don't know how long it would take to do 8 miles, but I did do, what was it? I think when me and my girl were walking around, we did about 15,000 steps. So I don't know how long that took, but it was tiring. We didn't stop. I know 15,000 steps isn't a lot, but when you're doing it continuously without stopping, it's pretty difficult. But yeah, what shouts to you, bro. That's pretty sick. What else was I saying? Yeah, no, I do read the chat. It's just I can't interrupt Tom when he's talking. So if there's any super chats that come in, I promise you I'll read them. I'll tell Tom, can we just stop for a second? I'll read them out. If you have questions and I spot them, then I'll read them out. I'll try my best. But I'm very sorry about the past couple of streams. So yeah, I'm gonna get Tom in here now. Just before we start, I know loads of you, some people were messaging me before this, asking me to speak about the Coach Kazama stuff. We're gonna leave that for another time. We're gonna focus on Mortal Kombat today. So, all right, Tom is here. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, man?
I like your background.
I was messing around. I was like, I'll just use the Lin Kuei temple background here. I was just messing around with some of it.
That was my favorite stage in MKX as well.
Yeah, it was a good stage. It was a good stage.
So what I've done, Tom, is I've put all the characters in there, but the original timeline, the second timeline characters are very, very similar, and then the new timeline is quite different. So I've separated MK1. And I've given them their own character slots. So if you rank, for example, Lee May, you have to rank her again because she has 2 versions.
Oh, no worries. I can tell you right now where every one of the MK timeline is going. I can tell you right now.
Can you just explain to chat what your criteria is for ranking characters?
So I've been around since the very first day of Mortal Kombat 1. I've pretty much watched all media, read all comics, played all the games, even all the anime series. I mean, everything, even the kind of wacky CG ones with these origin stories of everybody. Like so as far as character lore goes, and play style, and all how they play and their history in Mortal Kombat, I'm pretty familiar with all of it.
All right, cool. So I guess I'm just going to name these. I forgot to name them. I've named the top one Cream of the Crop. Second one, I'll probably name it Kinda Cool. Actually, we'll name the third one Kinda Cool.
The last one should be just Ed Boon tier for what are you doing? Like,
That was Tom's recommendation, not me, in case
Yeah.
Ed Boon sees this.
Ed Boon tier.
What should C tier be?
Um,
I'd put kind of crusty.
yeah, kind of crusty.
And B tier is
There's still
F tier
pretty
should be
popular
lower.
characters in B tier, you know.
Yeah, they'll still be are still pretty popular.
A fan favorites. I don't know. I'm not sure what they would be.
Oh, I'll think of a name as we're doing it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
What I'll do is I'll pick random characters, and then
Okay.
you can start explaining why you're putting them in certain places.
Perfect.
So the first character I'm going to pick is gonna be Kotal Khan, and you have to give reasons for why and fill out your criteria for each one.
Okay, so man, it really bothered me in MKX where they're building up Kotal Khan. This is MKX Ed Boon, who's next 25 years later, blah blah blah. And man, one of the first things you see with Kotal Khan is him losing and begging Kunjin to spare his life. That is very difficult to get over.
Yeah.
Kotal Khan is perhaps the worst Khan ever. He's a jobber. That I feel like the MKX started introducing a ton of jobbers. Like they took main characters and put them and made them like the new Baraka. Kotal Khan is a jobber. So Kotal Khan's playstyle, very cool. I mean, the thing because of Kotal Khan, he's a newer character. We don't have years of lore on him, but he is definitely a jobber.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of shoes to fill as a Khan. You know what I mean? Because and he just doesn't do it. Now, as far as playstyle goes, he had Blood God was such a cool playstyle in MKX because especially when you'd watch like Madsen play him, he just seemed to have infinite health. Or if he hits you with like a Blood God, just such an interesting playstyle with the totems, or obviously his War God with his weapon. We hadn't really seen a character like that, that actually is going to use his weapon as such a big part of fighting, unless it's like something like, the 3D ones where they were using their weapon. But in the 2D games, not like MK4, where a character is physically like using their weapon as a big part of their gameplay.
I think that he was the ones where he would get the totems. It was really
that was
cool to see how people
cool
use
variation. That. Yeah. In MK11, I mean, it's tough to have. I mean, the fact that MK11 is 50% of your, because he's you're looking at, he's only in 2 Mortal Kombat games.
Mm-hmm.
And of those 2, one of them is MK11. So that's hard. That's harsh. Yeah. I mean, a couple of hits into a cat. Not very inspiring. Command grab over and over again, which is good, but I don't think any character in MK11 really has any type of like great fighting style overall. It's just MK11, unfortunately.
Yeah, his story in MK11 didn't help either. The way I look at Kotal Khan is design-wise, like he looks cool. He looks kind of reminds me of Ancient Ogre. Like he looks like an Aztec warrior.
Exactly.
And MKX fighting style-wise was brilliant. I thought they did a great job with him. Story-wise, he was kind of pathetic, and then story-wise in MK11 he's also pathetic, and then gameplay-wise in MK11 he's kind of boring. So his only saving grace for me is his overall look and his gameplay in MKX.
I gotta put him in kind of crusty, man. I mean, it's I'm sorry, man. I mean, half of his game is MK11, and he's a jobber. He's a jobber. You know, that's what he is. He's Barry Horowitz. You know, he'll do a handspring elbow, pat himself on the back, and he'll still lose. So I mean,
Fair enough. All right, well, we'll go on to the next character now. Next character that I'm gonna ask you to rate is gonna be Chameleon.
oh, Chameleon. So Chameleon is a big part. Do we have both chameleons, male and female, or am I
Well,
just ranking one?
yeah, because they're
Okay,
not that. There's no
yeah,
difference really
okay,
other than the gender. Oh, just before you go on,
sure.
Tom, the people in the chat are asking what's a jobber.
So a jobber is, you know, wrestling term. You're there to do a job. You're there to basically get squashed, put somebody over. You're almost like enhancement talent, you know, a jobber. And I didn't want to use the Brooklyn Brawler because I wanted only true wrestling fans to get the Barry Horowitz
Mm.
mention. Anyone who was young like me and watched Wrestling Challenger Superstars, lots of Barry Horowitz's appearances on there. Um, so Chameleon. This is tough because for one, Chameleon's definitely a fan favorite. Uh, Chameleon has been around since, uh, you know, and not, so are we using the MK1 Chameleon? Are they separate characters as well? I can't.
Well, the MK1 Chameleon isn't even really a character. It's just a cameo, isn't it? And then it's just it's not even it's in the story, but she doesn't do anything at all. Like there's not
Okay.
even anything to rate on the character. That does she do anything in the story other than really stand there?
No, no, not at all. 'Cause I was reading up on chameleon lore, and there was a lot of chameleon lore on the female chameleon. So we'll just, I guess, call it kind of is what it is. I read the wiki. I just wanted to brush up on it.
Yeah.
Um, so chameleon first, I think before the N64 version was in trilogy. Um, right?
Hmm.
And the Saturn and the PlayStation had the male version, and the N64 had the female, right? If I'm
Yeah.
correct.
I think
Okay.
you're right on that.
Yeah, I think so. Um, so again, Chameleon's story, they don't really go into it that much. It doesn't really play a role in the games much at all. You know,
Hmm.
uh, she's one of those characters that has a backstory, but it doesn't really come into play. You know what I mean? In any of the games per se. But Chameleon is one of those, you know, rumored characters where you heard rumors like Trilogy was basically every rumor you could think of in Mortal Kombat history up to that point. And
Hmm.
Chameleon being one of the rumored, you know, ninjas. And one of the cool things about Trilogy is you actually had fan fiction that became so big it actually got put in the game and became part of the lore, which is where
Yeah.
you get Scorpion's hands from hell from, things like that. Chameleon being one of those. A very popular character. Um, when you read up on Chameleon, it's you pretty much get the modern story, part of Tanya's blah blah blah. You know, I was reading about it. They consider it the official lore a palette swap only, so we are going off of, I guess, uh, the female version. I was reading the wiki today for quite a while. Uh, But an Armageddon Chameleon was a male ninja as well, so it's just really kind of there's some timeline nonsense going on now, and I was trying to narrow it down. So Chameleon story is just kind of weird because we're only ranking one chameleon, and
Mhm.
in theory, that's obviously. So I'm just gonna try to.
Well, we can rank both of them. I can put the other
No, no, it's
Chameleon in there.
okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna take the story with a grain of salt here,
Yeah, because
and
it's kind of a mess.
I'm not gonna punish the character for it. Chameleon was just one of those characters that I believe it was kind of fan fiction arcade rumor come to life. So it has a massive place in the lore of Mortal Kombat. Being able to switch from ninja to ninja, that's such a really cool play style. So as far as play style goes, Chameleon has, you know, just a very original play style in general. I mean, in theory, what it should be, right? Cycling between whether it's all the male ninjas or all the female ninjas. I'm gonna put Chameleon in. What's the second and third tier called?
Cleans up well. The second one's called kind of cool. Sorry, the third one's kind of cool. Second one's clean up well.
I'm gonna say Chameleon's kind of cool, man. I mean, Chameleon's kind of cool.
We agree. I agree on that. I've always thought Chameleon was a cool concept. I wish they would expand and make the story a bit easier to follow with Chameleon, because it seems to be all over the place.
Yeah, and I wanted to read up on it because when Chameleon got put in Trilogy, you didn't have like Wiki, you didn't have all this massive backstory, and Chameleon wasn't really part of the game. So I said, let me kind of brush up on all things Chameleon. And it's just a mess, man. Unfortunately. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Dominic, whatever your name is.
All right, then the next character we'll choose then is the original Raiden, and that accounts for his transition into Dark Raiden as well.
Raiden is just too much of a big part of MK lore to be placed anywhere than when I'm going to place him. Raiden. So just let's talk about regular Raiden here. Regular Raiden is just, he's kind of like that Obi-Wan figure, you know what I mean, to Liu Kang originally. Well, obviously in the game, if you read the Super Nintendo manual, it's like, Raiden kind of comes down, enters the tournament for fun. He's a god. He was entered, 7 feet tall, blah, blah. But obviously in the story, we see that Raiden is like a mentor figure to Liu Kang. And kind of, throughout history, guiding those Earthrealm warriors throughout the first few Mortal Kombat games. And then in Deception, Raiden goes from, I guess, an attitude of all hopeful Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, and he gets Kathleen Kennedy, and he just becomes like very cynical and jaded. And now he's sick and tired of humanity messing things up. And from now on, anyone that endangers Earthrealm, he's just going to axe and kill. And we see this even in transition in MK9 from that to MKX. He kind of undergoes a similar Dark Raiden, you know what I mean? For the same reasons. I'm not going to let people endanger Earthrealm, etc. I personally, I think most people like the hopeful Raiden overall. The Dark Raiden is good.
Yeah, Dark Raiden
kills everybody.
Yeah. But he was so cool when he showed up. Like when I first saw Dark Raiden,
Dark Raiden was really cool. He was really cool. I'm gonna put Raiden in the very top tier. He's the cream of the crop. I mean, if you look at Raiden's story, he's always there. You cannot tell the story of Mortal Kombat with. Yeah, I don't know what that was. He's always there from MK1. Being that guide from Liu Kang. Again, if the original MK1 story before they got in.
Oh, you're gone again, Tom. Wait, you guys can still see it. It's not me, right? You guys still here? When did they race for Raiden? Guys, you can still see me, right? Oh my god, is it me? Chat's not responding to me. It's him. It's me. Oh, okay, no, I'm still here. Yes, it's Tom.
There I am.
Oh, there.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah, you're back.
That was weird. I have no idea what that was.
It's Ed Boon. He's coming for you. He's had enough.
Ed Boon might be coming for me. So I'm gonna put Raiden in that top tier simply because, again, you cannot tell the story of Mortal Kombat without Raiden. And again, originally, as a kid, I'm only 15. Raiden is not introduced to you as this, Obi-Wan figure. Or Raiden is CJ. Even my Wi-Fi is better than your best direct connection, brother. And I'll take it. I'll take the Pepsi challenge to that shit. You can go ahead and post your times. All right. Right.
CJ is always on you.
This guy CJ is probably playing on Wi-Fi. At least I actually plug in directly. So the Raiden is not originally introduced to you as this mentoring figure. He's introduced to you as a god that Shang Tsung extended an invitation to.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when he wins, I think he destroys everything. Have a nice day. Raiden had that have a nice day ending originally in MK1. So that is your introduction to Raiden. And then as MK lore begins to expand, then he becomes that kind of Earth Realm's protector. But that is not how he is originally introduced to you early in MK1.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
What is the next character we got here?
Just before we go on to the next one, Joel, thank you for the $5. Tom, are you only good at doing Shao Kahn's voice? I don't know if he's frozen right now, if he's meditating.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay. You just closed your eyes. I thought you were meditating.
No.
Do you know what I'll do for you, Joel? I'll bring G6 up here, and I'll get him to read them because he's got that Kratos sounding voice. All right, the next character we're going to do, since we're talking about Raiden, is the MK1 Raiden. Where would you put MK1 Raiden?
Ed Boon tier. Not even any hesitation.
Damn.
Not even any hesitation. I don't know what the fuck this is. I mean, he's got this little thing with Kung Lao, and he's the humble one. And no, nothing about his story in MK1 is good. And
hello?
Yeah, I might just have to move down. You know what it is, man? I'm gonna have to move this downstairs only because God knows what's going on with the internet here. If in Virginia we got hit by a blizzard yesterday, these Southerners, they ain't used to snow. They don't know what to do when it hits the ground. So
yeah, you can move it downstairs and then jump.
Give me 1 second. Let me move this setup downstairs. I'll be right back on.
Yeah, no problem. That's all good. Well, you guys are stuck with me for the time being. So whilst we're waiting, CJ, why'd you come in here and smoke for Tom? Huh? Leave him be. He's in the middle of a blizzard. So far, I don't disagree with any of his placements. I am going to be interested to see what he says about the next character that I pick. Wonder if we will disagree on that. Have we spoken about NRS being bought by Netflix? No. If you want to know my very brief thoughts on that, I'm not particularly happy about that. It could go either way. I feel like it's just going to be treated as a cash grab. Apparently, Paramount is trying to do some sort of hostile takeover, so there's no guarantee that Netflix is actually going to own it, which is interesting. So yeah, we'll see. I just don't know what's going on with Mortal Kombat anymore, man. It's sad. It's sad that this franchise that I grew up with, that I love Mortal Kombat. It's sad to see what's happened to the series over the years, and now it's being bought by Netflix. Is there a super chat equivalent for Twitch? I have a question for Tom. I don't know, bro. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I have any of those benefits on Twitch, so maybe you should come over to YouTube. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how Twitch works. I'm just streaming on there because I had this platform lets me stream on any platform I want. But I don't know how Twitch works. I don't even think I've got 1,000 followers on there, so I have no idea. Yeah, besides, everyone's on YouTube. You can come jump into the chat and talk to everyone in here. Mortal Kombat is dead. Well, the thing is, Tom, is that not Tom, sorry, CJ. I don't like giving up on things. Like it's just not in my personality to give up on stuff. So I want to be hopeful about Mortal Kombat. Of course I do. I grew up playing it. I don't want to just be like, oh, it's over and that's it. The game comes out and it sucks, then obviously I'm going to be honest about it and say, yo, it sucks. And then we'll just have to wait for the next one. But whilst we don't know what's going on with it, I'd like to remain hopeful. Give up? Nah, it's not in my personality to give up. How's the internet now, Tom?
Should be fine.
Okay, cool. Let me reshare the screen.
Let me get rid of this Lin Kuei background, or I don't know what could have caused it. All right, what character we got?
The next character that we're gonna do is Su Hao. Where do you put Su Hao?
Man, so I'm a Su Hao guy. I know Rio gives me shit all the time about Su Hao. He hates Su Hao. Everybody for some reason doesn't like Su Hao. So Su Hao is kind of like the redheaded stepchild. I believe. What is he? Part of the Red Dragon, right?
He's like just some. Is he just some grunt in there, or like a general?
People don't like those Red Dragon people, man. Yeah, like they're like, what is this Red Dragon? What happened to the Black Dragon, right?
Yeah. I do think his weapons in the 3D games are pretty cool. I think gameplay wise, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, I mean, his okay, so he is so first of all, in the story, he's pretty much non-existent. I just don't know anybody. I don't think I've ever met a Su Hao fan. I mean, like, he's not a character where people are like, oh, Su Hao. So when I was reading up on his lore a little more, even the cool fan pictures of him were terrible. Like I'm looking at them and I'm like, I'm like, maybe they expanded his lore from when I first heard about him in Deadly Alliance and things like that. So I'm looking at it, and just his introduction, a treacherous Chinese operative and mercenary from the Red Dragon clan, known for infiltrating Earthrealm special for blah blah blah.
Wait, hold on. He's Chinese.
Yeah.
Wait, he's Chinese and they made his skin color.
According to this.
That seems like a choice. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. They'd never get away with that now.
Yeah, he was killed by Jax, basically, but apparently he posed as a member. This was his Deadly Alliance thing. He posed as a member of the Special Forces, but he was actually part of the Red Dragon.
I would put him in crap tier. Even though I like his weapons in the 3D games, he's just kind of a whatever character. Like, no one cares if he comes back or not.
I'm going to put him in Ed Boon tier.
Ed Boon tier. Would you put him behind or in front of Raiden?
He's in front of Raiden. Raiden is from MK1 storyline. Unfortunately, everybody is in front of those people.
Right, that's fine. Right, the next character, we'll pick a good character now. Where would you put Shang Tsung, the original Shang Tsung? And I've got a picture there of Kerry Tagawa.
The MK1 Shang Tsung?
No. This is the original Shang Tsung.
Oh, so not MK1 Shang Tsung.
Not new timeline Shang Tsung, original.
So first of all, let me just say this: I think every Shang Tsung going forward should bear the likeness of Kerry Tagawa, and they should use AI to use his voice from now on. Kerry Tagawa completely carried the Mortal Kombat 1 movie. He kept it from being. It could have been like a stupid MK Annihilation joke of a movie, but he gave it that serious undertone. Without Kerry Tagawa, we have like a bunch of one-liners from Kano and Kerry Tagawa carried that movie. I'm gonna put Shang Tsung. The story of Shang Tsung is For those who don't know, I mean, everybody should know it by now. Sorcerer learned the black arts from the emperor himself. Um, he enslaves souls, as Goro said. The wise cultivate his favor. Those who challenge his power become his slaves. So Shang Tsung, in Shao Kahn trying to take over Earthrealm, they needed to win 10 victories in Mortal Kombat. Shang Tsung was defeated by the great Kung Lao. And that's when Goro comes into play. Goro kills the great Kung Lao. Then they win 9 Mortal Kombat tournaments. And then Liu Kang obviously defeats Shang Tsung. And Earthrealm is victorious. In MK2, Shang Tsung is going to be executed. He convinces Shao Kahn, why don't we lure people from Earthrealm here where they will meet certain death at your hand? And off Shang Tsung's story goes. And one of the most iconic characters. To me, Shang Tsung is still tied to another who we should do next in Quan Chi and the Deadly Alliance. So put Shang Tsung in the top tier. And I'm also going to put Quan Chi in the top tier as well. And I want to, because they are intertwined. They have a whole game named after them. So I want you guys to understand, because most people that are around now, they weren't around, they didn't live it. We actually got to see, like, I got to live the timeline before it was invented, you know what I mean? From where it was to where it became. So when you play MK1 and then MK2 comes out and you find out Liu Kang is now the champion of Mortal Kombat, so on and so forth, right? Beat Shang Tsung, the apparent death of Goro, things like that. Which is in the MK storyline, in MK2. And then in MK3, he's still the champion of Mortal Kombat. You know, he's defeated Shang Tsung, he's defeated Shao Kahn. MK4, again, the champion of Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang, you're the first, the golden years of Mortal Kombat. Liu Kang is the champion of Mortal Kombat. He's such an iconic figure. He's defeated Shao Kahn. And these two people not only stopped Shao Kahn and imprisoned him, but when you play MK Deadly Alliance, you see, we don't have spoilers like we have today where everything's on YouTube and so on and so forth. So you go from every attract noise, every attract sound in arcades, Liu Kang, the movie, Liu Kang, the champion of Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang. And then you put this game in and it's Liu Kang is dead. These two killed Liu Kang and defeated Shao Kahn. The two holiest of powerful beings in the Mortal Kombat universe. These two are easily in the top for just that in lore alone. It was,
you know what's crazy, Tom?
Yeah.
That is the first minute of the game. Like in the first minute, like everything that we know about MK has completely changed. And then they just thrust you into the game.
Yeah. Them killing Liu Kang was like, what? Liu Kang is dead. Like, just like that. So that they started like the whole dark undertone of Mortal Kombat was because of those two. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, obviously in his lore, it starts in MK mythology. So MK mythologies came out as a way to introduce you to the storyline, setting up Mortal Kombat 4. And that's when we realized Shang Tsung, Quan Chi is another sorcerer. He wants to get in possession of Shinnok's amulet. You learn about Shinnok, a fallen elder god who he wants to free. You learn all of that. And a lot of, if you follow through to MK9, you'll see a lot of Mortal Kombat story is a lot of things being manipulated by Quan Chi behind the scenes. And, you know, obviously after Shinnok's defeat, then he partners up with Shang Tsung, and these two do what no one has been able to do. Just they're inseparable as far as their lore. They have an entire game named after them. two of the most iconic people in Mortal Kombat history. Shang more so than Quan, but significantly more than Quan Chi. But they're kind of joined at the hip. They have an entire game named after them.
Wasn't Quan Chi instrumental in basically Scorpion's torture for most of his adult life?
He was. So he was also instrumental in Noob Saibot. So much going on. So Scorpion, his ninja clan was killed by Quan Chi, and he had Scorpion believe that it was Sub-Zero that actually killed his family and clan, when we find out his Scorpion's family and clan was actually killed by Quan Chi. So with that, we realized that, okay, well, Quan Chi has been doing a lot of things behind the scenes, and he is a very instrumental part of it. So even the whole Scorpion and Sub-Zero narrative, and even in the creation of Noob Saibot, which we're going to get to, just so he's had a major hand. I shouldn't even say more so than Shang Tsung. They're probably about equal, actually, when you look at their involvement in the lore and everything like that. So
just before we move on, Joel, thank you for the $5. Hi Tom, always wanted this answered since I was a kid. Is Ermac a black ninja? His skin looked darker than the other ninjas in Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
In UMK3, I think he was, but then they just made him pure energy. So
yeah, probably a retcon or something.
Yeah.
So before we move on to other people, I guess since we've done the original Shang Tsung and Quan Chi, what is your feelings on Shang Tsung and Quan Chi and MK1?
Ed Boon tier. And that is, again, stupid. It is Liu Kang's new era. The way I look at MK1 and Liu Kang's new era, I look at Liu Kang like the Diesel of the wrestling world. The worst drawing champion in history. That's kind of Liu Kang's new era. The worst drawing Mortal Kombat. Like, he's garbage as a champion, and everything he creates is equally as garbage. So their stories are complete stupid. You make Shang some low tier elixir salesman who is just all smoke and mirrors, no real magic, no real power. And then of course all of that is, its own thing in the story. Quan
Chi's such a bitch in MK1.
Quan Chi
in the DLC content
in that game.
Did you remember the DLC Chaos Reigns when I think he's fighting Frost in the arena and he just gets his ass whooped? And I was like, man, no, that wouldn't happen.
Just nothing about them is good. I mean, a complete disgrace to their legacy as characters.
Where would you rank Cetrion?
So Cetrion, daughter of Chronica, elder goddess, I should say.
Yeah, if I can give my 2 cents, I think she's a shit character.
And then she's an MK11 character. I mean,
she got whooped by
she's
Sindel.
In one game. Her playstyle in MK11 completely, like everything in that game, boring as hell. The cure to insomnia, playing any bit of MK11, and her story is just, I get it. She needs the crown of souls. Her story is actually not so. Her MK11 role is actually kind of interesting. Needs the crown of souls. There's a lot going. MK11's story tries very hard to be good. Like everything else in MK11, but like everything else in MK11, it still falls short. I'm gonna put Cetrion in kind of crusty.
Yeah, I agree. She seemed so out of place to me in Mortal Kombat. Her fatality was very weird, and when she went up against Sindel in the story, she got smacked around, and I was like, "Ain't you an elder god?" Like, it was a bit weird to watch that whole scene.
And also, let me just say this: one of the most iconic fatalities ever is Shang Tsung's Soul Steal, as well as Quan Chi's leg rip.
Hmm.
So those two also have two of the most iconic fatalities. I mean, "Your soul is mine" is one of the most iconic phrases. Period.
Yeah.
I'll say this about Mortal Kombat: through all whatever about Street Fighter and all the noises Street Fighter makes, Mortal Kombat has some of the most recognizable sounds in fighting games. Like anyone will place that. You know,
Yeah.
"Your soul is mine." They know what that is.
Yeah. Get over here. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Mhm.
Right, I'm gonna choose a weird one now. It's gonna be a little
Alright.
bit left field. Where would you rank Pink Floyd from MK1?
So it's tough for me to rank him as a secret character because his secret didn't last long. Trying, but that was more of a community effort. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? To try to figure it out.
I guess you can only really rank him on his character design, and
I'm gonna put him in kind of cool.
yeah, that's what I was
I'm
thinking. I
gonna put
think
him
he's
in
kind
kind
of
of
cool.
cool because obviously him being a secret is going to be much harder when you have eras of data mining and things like that. So no secret is going to be like a secret, but as the community came together to really try to figure out everything about him and all the minutia about the conditions to get him, so on and so forth, it gave kind of like a good hunt, you know what I mean, of who can
Hmm.
figure stuff out. Um and to have that at all in the modern era where everything is easily figured out is pretty cool. So I'm gonna put him in kind of cool.
All right. How about Hotaru?
So Hotaru, I believe, is from what, Order Realm, correct? Am I
Yeah,
wrong on this,
Order
chat?
Realm. Yeah, he's the
Order Realm.
opposite of Havoc, I
Yeah, yeah,
guess.
of the Havoc. I liked Hotaru as a character. I liked the little fireballs that launch. You know, those were really cool. I liked his play style. It was really cool.
Had a cool look as well.
So in Deception, the whole Havoc, Chaos Realm, and Order Realm thing just felt really weird. Like they just shit out two realms out of nowhere. Now there's a Chaos Realm and Order Realm.
Hmm.
And while Havoc as a character design was really cool, it was just kind of weird. It's like, what is this Chaos Realm now? And same thing in Hotaru. It just felt like they just threw him in there to create another realm. Yeah. Now there's the Order Realm. Um, I did like his play style, but overall, Hotaru does not play a very major role. You could tell the story of Mortal Kombat just fine without Hotaru in it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So I'm going to put him in kind of crusty.
I think he has massive potential, though. I think there's something
Massive
there. That,
potential. Unfortunately, it's Ed Boon. It's up to Ed Boon to decide his potential. So I don't have much faith in it.
no, that's fair. All right. Next character I'm gonna choose is Ashura.
Which Ashra?
We'll start with the original one, and then I guess we'll do the new one.
Okay, so the original Ashra was really fucking cool. For Ashra immediately became a fan favorite. Um, so again, if you try to look up, and again, I looked up, all of her lore, um, which again, it's going to be updated to, you know what I mean, because they're pretty much, because there is no, they just kind of update everything, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
now we're going by Ashra as we know her now.
From what I remember, the original Ashura was trapped in the demon world because she was trying to purify that sword or something. Like
Yeah,
she was
so
killing demons with
she
it.
she's a demoness who, as I read, desires, what it said was it desires absolution from the nether realm. So she slays demons. She has her enchanted Chris sword, um, and she uses it to purge the evil from her soul. And Then they go on to the newer version of Ashra in general. Let me just say this about first, how the fans receive a character is a massive where they get placed on this list. Because if Su Hao was like, oh my gosh, Su Hao's the most coolest character ever, he would be considered much higher, right? So Ashra immediately became a fan favorite. Immediately became one. So she's one of those characters where she became nobody cared. She was so cool in just how she played and just her overall design and her moves that I don't think most people knew her story and they didn't care. She became an instant fan favorite.
I think her
So
being
in
put in
general,
Mortal Kombat 1 with people knowing very little about her is a testament to how much people liked her.
exactly. And even in MK1, people gravitated to her.
Yeah.
Of course, because she was more defensive, then they were like, oh, this is no fun. I want to mix all day. So then they, kind of put her down a little bit. But she, again, she was, as I read her full MK Deception thing, she's listed as someone who's a standalone character, jumping back and forth between the forces of good and evil. Her occupation is that of a demon hunter. So
yeah, she was killing demons with that sword to purify her
yes,
soul or
correct.
some shit like that.
So her story is, again, some of these characters, their story is not very deep. They were not in that many Mortal Kombat games, and they don't have a ton of storytelling done about them. But it's how they affect the players of Mortal Kombat, the people of the Mortal Kombat world, that I'm going to put Ashra. What's that second tier that we have?
Cleans up well.
I'm going to put Ashra and cleans up well. She's not an iconic character in Mortal Kombat, However, she is one of the most fan favorite characters out there, which says a lot for having a very, very small story. And she doesn't make a big impact. She kind of has her own individual. There are characters who play a massive role in the bigger picture of Mortal Kombat, right? And there are characters that kind of have their own individual story within the bigger picture. And she's one of those. But she's just such a cool character. She's exactly, someone says she's like second tier iconic. That's why I put her there.
Yeah. But to be fair to the Mortal Kombat 1 version, which we'll do next, they kind of just took her story from the 3D era and readapted it. They changed her look a bit, because I guess she's more demonic in MK1. She hasn't purified herself as much. She's one of the characters in MK1 I didn't mind as much because she isn't that different from the original.
True. The downside to anyone in MK1 is nobody gives a fuck about the MK1 story, regardless of the character. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem. When people talk about the story of Terminator, they don't say, oh, you mean that one that had Christian Bale in it? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about the story, at that point, So it's just, I got to put her MK1 version in Ed Boon tier.
Is that fair to the character though? Because the overall game sucks, but that character's not bad.
When somebody says to me, dude, I loved Ashra in Deception, she was such a cool character, and bro, when I was looking at her story in MK1, dude, I was like, no one cares.
Fair enough. Well, this is Tom's tier list, to be fair. This is Tom's tier list.
I mean, this is the problem with MK1. Nobody cares about the MK1 story. I have the worst storytelling in Mortal Kombat history is largely considered to be MK1 story. Correct me if I'm wrong. People literally called for Dominic, who does the story, to be fired because of the MK1 story.
But is it if there's a really bad, like say there's like an anime or a TV show, and the TV show is really bad, but there's one character that's sort of carrying it.
But she wasn't carrying it.
She wasn't carrying it, but she also wasn't dragging it down. She wasn't one of the reasons why I wanted to turn it off. So is it fair to say that she's crap?
I will put her in kind of crusty because To say that she wasn't one of the reasons why I turned it off is actually a big compliment in MK1. So let's move her up to kind of crusty. That's actually a huge compliment.
Yeah, and to be fair to her, I thought that of all the character designs in the game, she was one of the more interesting ones compared to a lot of the other characters that I saw in MK1. They actually did pretty cool. If it was
Fair.
up to me, I would put her in kind of cool. I don't think that she's a crusty character. I think she's in a bad game, which is
Okay.
unfortunate.
Fair enough. Bad game. Sure.
All right, let's move on to Kung Jin. Where would you put Kung Jin?
Oh. I am not fans of characters put in games to make a political statement. We play video games for the opposite. Because we don't have, you know what I mean?
Do you think it was a political statement? Do you think they were trying to get something across?
It was a part of the story. It's not like they put it in the backstory. It was a part of the story with the Shaolin will never accept me. And we know why they were inferring the Shaolin would never accept him. So by them doing that, they made it political. As a character, Kung Jin is really cool. They kind of use the arrow system that Green Arrow had. So for one, I just didn't like that style because it was kind of like we're just going to cut and paste what we had done in the previous game and bring that as a style over to Kung Jin. But his Shaolin style that Slayer made very popular. Shout out to my boy Slayer with his chakrams. It was really cool. And so I'd say two variations were very original. The other one was kind of a cut and paste of what they would try to do with Green Arrow. Story-wise, I would just say he's average.
Yeah.
And
did beat Kotal Khan though.
He did beat Kotal Khan and made him beg for his life.
Don't know how he pulled that one off, but
put him in the between kind of cool and kind of crusty. He's not. Kung Jin is almost really cool, but he's also not crusty.
Yeah, he's a very mid character. Like if he came back, I would be like, okay, cool, he's coming back. If he doesn't come back, I'd be like, no,
not enough lore with him.
Yeah,
don't like the political statement they were trying to make. And he's only been in one game, so we only have that. You know what I mean? That one thing to go off of.
Where would you put Shujinko? I think Shujinko is so cool, personally. I think he's such a cool character.
You cannot tell the story of Mortal Kombat without Shujinko. The fact that they made a conquest mode where you follow Shujinko from a boy, pretty much, all the way to an old man, you really get invested in the character.
Yeah.
Playstyle is really cool. He's got some of the most amazing combos. You know, playstyle's awesome. Story is absolutely amazing. In fact, that conquest mode, which features Shujinko, is probably considered the peak of single player content in a fighting game. I'm going to put Shujinko in the cream of the crop.
Doesn't his name also mean like main character or like protagonist or something? Like he's literally.
I'm not sure what it means.
I'm pretty sure his name means.
If Ed Boon came up with it, it was probably an accident. He probably had no idea what it meant. Oh, by the way, I forgot to go over this with Raiden, by the way. Some cool MK lore. As the story is told, during Mortal Kombat 1, they originally were going to try to, and maybe someone just gave me a bad story, but it seemed like it made sense. It might have been. Maybe I heard an interview of Carlos saying this. I'm not really sure, but maybe someone told it to me, or I heard an interview with Carlos. But originally, they wanted Raiden saying things in Japanese.
Mm.
But then I also had him saying some things in gibberish, and the gibberish just sounded better, so they went with the gibberish.
That sounds like MK Law.
As the legend is told. Just want to give you some history there.
We're gonna do the Megan Fox version of Nitara next. Maybe she needs her own tier.
Absolutely awful. Ed Boon tier. Absolutely awful. They took a character, basically did nothing good with it, and then said, we'll just make it Megan Fox. So, maybe people will get behind it.
Yeah.
And people still didn't care.
I remember when the trailer came out, people were pissed as well. They were like, they're only doing this because she did that vampire film or that succubus film, whatever she was.
Yep.
It was nonsense. Where would you put the original Nitara?
The original Nitara, I'm gonna put in. I want to put her in Cleans Up Well, but I mean, the original Nitara has a lot of fans, actually.
She does, yeah. I was one of them. I liked her. I think that she's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool that she's.
That's where I'm leaning to. I'll put her in kind of cool.
She's like the last vampire, isn't she?
Just not enough involvement in the overall story. Very good playing style, very fun to play in Deadly Alliance. Dragged down by MK1, but the fact that she's such a fan favorite character speaks to what a cool design she is.
Yeah, it was I really don't like how she was treated in the recent Mortal Kombat film as well. That was
just so. Why even do that?
I don't know. It was so dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb.
All right, we're gonna do the original Lee May now.
The original Lee May is kind of crusty.
You think so? I actually really
the Deception. I'm gonna put her in kind of cool because in Deception. So if you go by Deadly Alliance, she's kind of crusty. But then you play Deception and even Armageddon, and she's like juggling you across the screen. So Lee May, she cleaned up well, just for the pun. She cleaned up well from Deadly Alliance to Deception and Armageddon.
And she had a pretty good backstory as well.
Yeah, she has a pretty good backstory. But again, there are characters that have good backstory and just the character just doesn't move people. You know what I mean? Lee May also has a fan favorite. And I always hate I'm glad that you separated them because again, I think the MK1 story drags a lot of people down.
Yeah.
And she's, again, you saw that in Conquest, the village she had in Outworld. And I think what really helped her lore is that interaction with Shujinko. She trained with Shujinko. Her soul was, I believe, stolen by Onaga, correct?
Yeah, I believe she was defeated and her soul was put into one of his Dragon King army things.
Yes. So her backstory is really cool. And then I just couldn't get Deadly Alliance out of my mind for a second. Her story in Deception really kind of changes a lot about her. People loved playing her. She was a fan favorite in Deception, the fan favorite in Armageddon. So I'm going to put her in kind of cool.
And where would you put the new Lee May?
Ed Boon tier.
Why is that?
Nobody cares about anything in her story in MK1. She's and nobody cares. I mean, I'm sorry, man. MK1 just doesn't do it, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, what about Reiko? The original Reiko,
So
not the
I'm
MK
gonna
one.
try to not punish him for MK4, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So originally in the MK4 beta, they didn't have Reiko, they had Noob Saibot. And then we have Reiko and not Noob Saibot. He's supposed to be one of Shinnok's generals. They had that wackadoo ending in MK Gold. In MK4, he just walks through a portal in the arcade ending. You have no idea. So no originality whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's just kind of like all speculation. Like why did he put the Shao Kahn helmet on in MK Gold? Why we didn't know what happened after MK4. He's not in Deadly Alliance. He's not in Deception. They bring him in Armageddon, and all of a sudden now he's got a totally different look.
His design was really quite poor in MK4 because he looked like he could have just like worn a mask like Scorpion or Sub-Zero, but he had this like eyeshadow, and I was just like, it just seemed very lazy, like it was just thrown in there.
His playstyle in 4 was pretty cool. The clock kick is a really good move. Animated terribly. Looks probably hilarious to anybody watching it today. But fatalities underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I got to put him in kind of crusty.
Kind of crusty. I would agree. I think he's kind of, oh, that's the wrong person. Yeah, I agree. I think it's kind of crusty. What about the new version of Reiko?
I'm actually going to put the new version of Reiko in kind of cool.
Wow. Okay.
I like how his Reiko MK1 is some of the most mind-numbing gameplay. You know, nobody watches MK1 and say, "Oh shit, I'm hype." But Reiko is a fan favorite for people to watch.
Why is that?
I think because the meta of the game is so stale, right? Do blah blah blah, assist, take your turn, right? He's a character that can fight enough on his own and still use the assist for the utility purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, like he can't afford to use his assist. I'm going to bulldoze my way in, and haha, assist makes me safe, right? Blah blah blah, right? That kind of stuff, right? His grappling style is really really cool. The way he plays the game when he gets in close, it's not as simple as some of the other stuff in the game. I think just people just for whatever the reason is, nothing in MK1's inspiring to me. But Reiko became like the people's champ of MK1, character-wise, right? People enjoyed watching him, seeing him played. Whenever Rewind is playing Ermac or whatever else, despite all the cancels, it's people fall asleep. He pulls out Reiko, and obviously it is Rewind, so he's a great fan favorite, but the way the character plays, the way these people make the character look, especially Rewind, people get behind that. And all of a sudden they're interested. Same player, he could pick Homelander and they're going to fall asleep. When he picks Reiko, all of a sudden they're interested and they're enjoying watching the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put him in kind of cool.
Okay. All right. Next one is, I think, probably one of the more controversial ones. See how the chat feels about this. Where we're going to do both the Tanyas. We're going to start with the original Tanya, and then we'll do the MK1 version.
The original Tanya. So Tanya's MK4 ending was really cool. I'll never get Quan Chi out of it. Do you bow to your new master, the Lord Shinnok? Never a sorcerer. Wah! Fool. MK4. And how the characters talk like they were drunk. Like they were like, you know.
Yeah,
And
it
they
has
go,
some legendary endings.
yeah. So it was really cool because like she totally played Liu Kang. Tanya, what's going on? Who are all the others? Don't you
Mhm.
see, Liu Kang? This is a trap. Uh Tanya's story is really cool. Or the original Tanya story. I like it. Um
Do you know, like, what's she just feels like if she wasn't there, the story could have gone on anyway.
so Tanya's almost like a mercenary, you know. She served Shinnok, served Shao
Mm.
Kahn, um, and now she's an Adinian freedom fighter. Oh.
I would say the design of the most of the versions of the original Tanya are pretty cool. I didn't like the new one.
The drill kick is really cool. It was a really cool special. Um, I think people liked her. The weapon they gave her actually was really cool. People like that. They like the Tonfa, how she kind of played like a record character in MKX.
Hmm.
So she's got some cool play styles. Dragon Naginata is very cool, very originally. She's kind of going into Flea, you know what I mean? Almost like Yoshi in some instances. So she's got a lot of freestyle in how she plays, and anything freestyle is kind of few and far between in what we know in modern Mortal Kombat. But there was a time. Um, so she doesn't have a direct role,
Hmm.
you know, and that she's one of the people in the background of the story.
Yeah.
But she's not crusty.
Mm.
She's not a crusty character.
She's not crusty. I don't think she's that cool. She might be on the very end of the cool
But
spectrum.
she's at the end of the cool. She's one of the last ones in the kind. She's just not crusty.
Yeah, no, she's not crusty.
I just can't put Tanya in crusty. And now there's MK1 Tanya, the freedom fighter.
Where would you put her? I don't like her at all in MK1. I really didn't like what they did with her.
I'm actually going to put her in kind of crusty. I'm not going to put her in Ed Boon tier.
Why is that?
Because people did like the warrior Tanya. They liked that. They were like, oh, this is really cool, so on and so forth. Or they liked the Chaos Reigns Tanya. Put it that way.
Mm.
People liked the Chaos Reigns Tanya.
The one that was married to Rain.
Yes.
Mm, I suppose.
So
She was all
because
right.
of that, I'm going to put Tanya in crusty.
Okay. The stupid mouse. Crusty. Okay, cool. All right. Next one we're gonna do is Cobra. Where would you put Cobra? Not including him being Ghostface.
Okay, thank God. Okay. Um Cobra being Ghostface might be one of the biggest slap in the faces in Mortal Kombat history.
It's a weird choice.
Cobra's not crusty. Cobra is actually really cool.
He was quite popular when I was a kid.
He was extremely popular. Extremely popular.
I remember
This is
playing
tough,
it with
man.
friends.
I'm tempted to put Cobra and Cleans Up well.
I
If
wouldn't
Cobra,
go that far. I think he's kind of cool.
he's kind of cool. Without him being a playable character in a modern MK. Now, if they put him in a new MK as a character, and he just had a shit ton of players because of how cool he was, that would change him up a little higher.
Yeah.
So for today, we're gonna put Cobra in kind of cool. But probably right now, I would say one of the most requested characters. Probably the most requested character to not make a reappearance.
Yeah, I would like to see Cobra come back. I think there was a lot of potential there.
He's so lame. See, it's easy to say that when you weren't around when he was a new character in Deception. Like you're looking at it, you know.
Yeah, you had to sort of be there at the time because I remember when Deception came out, he was one of the most picked characters out of everyone. So at the time, because Cobra hasn't really been around outside of that the 3D era,
Nope.
I'm not going to count Ghostface. People really liked him. I remember people picked him a lot. I saw a lot of Cobra.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's rank the Sub-Zeros. We'll start with the original Sub-Zero, and then we'll move on to MK1.
Is that counting his Noob Saibot?
No, we'll separate them. We'll separate Noob Saibot. So just Grandmaster Sub-Zero.
So the original Bihan has got to go in cream of the crop. Scorpion and Sub-Zero are still, but are the original poster child from Mortal Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
Bihan has a great story. A great story. Has the most iconic fatality in all of Mortal Kombat history.
Oh, the head rip.
Yes.
The spine rip.
The most iconic. Great story. Bihan is awesome. And just an iconic figure in Mortal Kombat. Can go no lower than the cream of the crop, man.
Your boys come back.
One day, the next time we open it to debate, I'm gonna shred you, CJ. I'm just letting you know. I'm gonna shred you.
And where would you put the MK1 version of Bihan?
Oh. So in play style, character-wise, he's just a character where the designer said, I'll just throw all of his injustice moves in Mortal Kombat for no reason, just because, and then I'll try to make it work down the line, and we'll buff him 15 times, and he still won't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
For a character to be buffed that much and still kind of be like, oh, kind of weird. I don't know. It's not about his tier placement. It's just they just didn't know what they were doing with him. He probably had the biggest role in all of MK1.
Yeah. But he was
MK1 is almost like the story of Bihan.
But he seems so stupid in it as well. Like he makes so many dumb decisions.
They made him an idiot. You know, like a stupid leader who doesn't think anything, bad strategy. He's gonna anyone who's ever read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, if you made another book and just wrote the exact opposite, that would be Bihan's MK1 story.
Mm-hmm. You have to remember that he did get his ass whooped by female Cyrax as well.
He's kind of crusty, man. I mean,
in the overall
MK lore, this is not the Bihan we all knew.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
Where would you put okay, we'll do all the Liu Kangs now. Where would
we do Kuai Liang.
Oh, you want to do where is he on here?
Oh no, we'll wait. We'll do that. We'll do no. What were you gonna say?
I've got all the Liu Kangs here. So I've got the original Liu Kang, the zombie Liu Kang, and the god Liu Kang.
Okay, so original Liu Kang obviously is cream of the crop. Liu Kang defeats Shang Tsung, defeats Shao Kahn, champion of Earthrealm, And then when they break his neck, he comes back as zombie Liu Kang, which they chained up. This is the joke we used to have back in the day between my circle. After he was dead, they chained him up just to make sure he doesn't come back from the dead and escape. And he comes back and escapes anyway. Liu Kang's tomb, I love this, an iconic stage, and I know they gave it the desert music, but I know it more as Liu Kang's tomb. Zombie Liu Kang is also going to go in cream of the crop.
Yeah, he had one of the coolest intros I've ever seen.
I mean, Zombie Liu Kang, such a cool character. And obviously Liu Kang's impact on the story is second to none. That they both are in cream of the crop. Yeah.
What about God Liu Kang?
Ed Boon Tier.
This is technically also like this is the second timeline. He's not third timeline Liu Kang. He's carried over.
Yeah, so he's Ed Boon Tier.
Yeah, they fucked him up.
They made him God Liu Kang, and nobody fucking cares. In fact, everybody's thing is, who did this? Fire that guy. Everything he does is God Liu Kang is terrible. For a god, he has the least amount of omnipotence and clairvoyance. And then he even doesn't even want to use his power. No, he's not. No, Liu Kang is an idiot as God Liu Kang.
No, that's fair. I don't disagree. Where would you put Shiva?
So Shiva is kind of cool. She was a protector, right? But she was a guardian, right? What was it again?
It was one of the head gods.
One of the head guards, right? In MK9, they made her one of the head guards.
She went out like a punk in Armageddon, though.
Terrible in Armageddon. And I looked up that accolades. She's to be in that movie at all. You have a lot of accomplished martial artists. They bring this woman in, and then they just kill her in 2 seconds. Playtime's over. Dead. Why?
Yeah.
Why put Shiva in the movie?
Oh, you're talking about Annihilation.
Yeah,
I was
Annihilation.
saying in Armageddon.
Annihilation. Shiva's got a really cool look.
I think she's kind of cool.
A playable Shokan, which was a big deal at the time in MK3. Fatalities were cool. The skin rip was a really cool fatality.
That was brutal.
Probably the most iconic horse scream you'll ever see. Everyone knew when Shiva was getting fatalitied.
Her win pose in the original MK games, they were really cool.
And it has a place, even in MK9 lore, as GGA Jeremiah eliminates KH Cat, Shiva versus Cabal at final round. Anyone who's there remembers Jeremiah just stomping him over and over and over again. I got to put her in kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think she's kind of cool as well. All right, the next character.
The date's over. Okay.
What's
whatever, CJ. The date's over. Okay. Your date's coming soon, CJ.
I mean, after we finish the tier list, I can bring him on here.
It depends on what time it is.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would take too long. If it doesn't take too long,
CJ, no.
Yeah, it'll be a good way to end the stream having CJ on it. Have you two go at it. All right, next character is gonna be original Johnny Cage.
Original Johnny Cage is gonna go in cream of the crop. Obviously, before the lore in the game, we all know it was meant to be a Universal Soldier game. Van Damme wants too much money. They made it a more Enter the Dragon style of game, called it Mortal Kombat. They gave him a similar Van Damme backstory, gave him the Bloodsport outfit. Iconic. Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
The decapitation uppercut, one of the most iconic fatalities ever. His story was really cool. Just an overall iconic character.
Where would you put the MK1 version of Johnny Cage?
Ed Boon tier. Complete garbage.
Damn.
Complete garbage.
Well, why is that? I actually thought, to be fair, again, to play like not devil's advocate, I actually believe this. I thought his like relationship with Kenshi was kind of interesting. I did like that aspect of his story. He didn't seem that different to original Johnny, in all fairness.
Garbage. Nothing interesting. Nothing. Just a lesser Johnny. Just a much lesser.
I do have to say that with original Johnny Cage, well, actually, no, this isn't the original Johnny Cage either. No, that's not fair to him. That's fine. We'll leave Johnny and cream of the crop. Okay, next character is gonna be Kai.
Kai's crusty, man.
Really, I'd say he's Ed Boon tier, man. Who gives a shit about Kai?
Put him Ed Boon tier.
He's a throwaway character.
Throwaway character. Unfortunately, it really is.
I don't think most people even know who he is.
MK4. Then he gets kind of weird. So what will you do now? I don't know. Wander the earth, search for my soul. Shut the fuck up. Terrible. Wander the earth, that kind of thing. Get him out. Ed Boon tier.
Where would you put Melina? Original Melina.
The original Melina is in the cream of the crop. Melina, the Melina story and lore she is probably the most requested DLC in the history of Mortal Kombat, to the point that in MK11, people actually gave Ed Boon death threats to put Melina in the game.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they put Melina in the game, and they regretted them asking for her if she was going to be put in as MK11. Melina's story as a clone created by Shang Tsung and the Tarkatan mouth was such a cool thing in MK2, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're an iconic character in the MK2 lore, you are become you're an iconic character, period. Play style, awesome. She's royalty in MK2. They bring her in UMK. She's not in 4, but she is in gold. Not in DA, but she is in Deception. So she's got really cool playing styles outside of MK11. Her story is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Her story is actually pretty good in even X. But just the Katana Melina relationship puts her a major player in the MK story. So she's a massive fan favorite, a major player in the story, to a lesser extent, but still a major player. Not like Liu Kang, where the weight of his world is on his shoulders, but still. And she's a fan favorite and got really cool play styles. Cream of the crop.
And where would you put the new version of her?
In Ed Boon tiers. Now she has Tarkatan disease. Shut up. What are we doing here, man? It's like, we don't want to give her a good story. She's got Tarkatan disease. What is this? No. No. Hell no. Tarkatan disease. What is this?
Do you know what? I'll be completely honest. Although I prefer the original Melina and I wouldn't trade her for the new one, I didn't mind the idea of this being some sort of like outworld disease infecting people.
No. Get her out.
Fair enough. A lot of people took exception to her relationship with Tanya as well.
Again, political statements, don't like them.
Let me ask you a question on that. because there's heterosexual relationships in Mortal Kombat that are well documented. Is there a place for homosexual relationships without it being seen as a political statement?
Yes, because you don't have to make it part of the story.
But what about the relationships that are like Liu Kang and Katana or Sindel and Shao Kahn? How do they differ from a homosexual relationship?
As far as I don't think that relationship. I don't think that relationship. I mean, that relationship has gone around for a while. You
Yeah.
can see it developing ever since MK2 and in the movies and everything, right? But in the games, they didn't go there, right? They didn't go there in MK2. They didn't go there in the story in MK3, right? I forget which MK in one of the ending. I think it was 4 in gold. They went their separate paths. We can't be in a relationship, blah, blah, blah. You have your obligations. I have mine. I'm going to stay here as champion of Mortal Kombat, right? Nothing. And now, you know, they crossed that. Maybe
Just
there
to
is.
answer,
I mean, they were very
JJBA.
hesitant to go that route. I feel like they wanted to keep it about Mortal Kombat and the fighting and the tournament
Yeah.
and the storytelling, the original Liu Kang katana thing.
Yeah, I was just
Now,
curious because I didn't know if there was much of a difference. And what JJBA is saying, it doesn't come into it because they don't like Sindel and Shao Kahn because of law reasons.
okay,
Because of
let me tell.
Sindel,
Okay, let me tell
not
you what.
because
Let me tell you what's
not
political.
because of their sexuality. So that doesn't really matter if they dislike them.
Let me tell you why they make it political. Because they retconned it to be that way.
Right. Okay. I was just curious. I was just wondering
It
what
was
people
like when
minded
DC
were.
was kind of throwing out the idea of should we change Superman to being a different race,
Yeah.
and now he's bisexual and he has a boyfriend, and like that was no, like it's political when you retcon it to intentionally be overly inclusive. You know what I mean? Like for DEI purposes. It was retconned for the purpose of DEI. It wasn't natural in the story, right? Because they could have gone that route. Like Liu Kang and Katana has a natural development, right? Where they both have their duties. You could see there's something there, and it's developed over several games to where we are now, right?
Mhm.
Melina didn't have any of that, and they retconned it for DEI purposes. That's why I think.
So what about Kung Jin? Because he's an original character.
He is, but they made him that way. I still do feel like there was some politicking there in general because they could have done it in other ways. The White Lotus may not accept him because you know what I mean. I don't know why they had to put that in the story. It was almost
Mhm.
like he's not accepted because he's this. You know what I mean? They could have made him that and had a story without possibly he's not accepted because of his sexuality, right? That is a political statement. I don't believe I'm accepted because of my sexuality, so blah blah blah, right? It's they didn't need to do that.
So what I'm wondering, and I'm just asking this just for the sake of conversation, how could, because they have hetero relationships in the game, how could you implement a gay relationship in their male and male, female and female without it being seen as woke?
It wouldn't have been woke if just um that was his preference and that was it.
Oh,
You
and
know,
they just didn't elaborate on it.
yeah, that was his preference. I
Okay.
mean, you can, I mean, they can do that. I honestly, I wouldn't even care if they gave him a romantic interest. I wouldn't care. That's just like everyone else, right? Hey, your sexuality is your sexuality. To each their own.
Hmm.
People like this, people like that, etc. There's nothing wrong with that, right? In life. But when you go the route of he's this way, he's angry, he's not going to get accepted, he doesn't think the Shaolin accept him because of his sexuality. Now they're telling I felt like that was kind of a political statement.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
felt like it had an undertone of not accepted because of blah blah blah, and they didn't need to do that.
Okay, let's move on to the next characters. We'll do Sector and Cyrax, and we'll do both timelines. So, where would you put the original Sector?
The original Sector, I'm going to put in cleans up well.
Yeah, I agree. What would be the reason for that?
So first of all, story-wise, the original Sector, his father is the Grand Master of the Lin Kuei, I believe, correct? Wasn't that what it was?
I can't remember. I think
Yeah,
so.
was
I
it that
think you're right.
Sector, the original Sector, his father was the Lin Kuei Grand Master? Is that correct, chat?
I think so.
Okay,
He's the
correct.
one that
Yeah,
greenlit the
yeah,
cybernetic
the Cyber
change, isn't
Initiative,
it?
right? Yeah. So Sector, just in playstyle, really cool character in MK3. Homing missile was a really cool design. Batshit crazy in MK Gold. They don't bring him back until Armageddon, and they don't bring him back until 9. Awesome playstyle in 9. His story is really cool, also. And the whole Cyber Initiative thing, you would think it would sound corny, but they told the story really well. And between lore, playstyle, and his place, like in the story, his relationship with the Lin Kuei, his father being the Lin Kuei Grandmaster, and I think he's got a really awesome story and good play styles to put him in. Cleans up well.
He was more willing to turn into a cyborg, wasn't he? Where
Yep.
Sector wasn't. Cyrax wasn't really on board with it.
Nope.
Okay, and where would you put the female Sector?
I'm gonna put the female Sector in Ed Boon tier. Just more. They gender bent the character. It's. I mean, we all know what it is.
Mm.
It was
I
just.
didn't. Yeah, I thought
If
that
you want to
was.
make a strong female character, make a new one.
Yeah, I agree. All right, what about original Cyrax?
Original Cyrax, I'm also going to put in cleans up well. The bomb is one of the most iconic specials in Mortal Kombat history and one of the most controversial ones. Even NRS to this day doesn't even know how to do it. So playstyle, awesome. Cyrax has always had an extremely original playstyle, in all the MKs around the bombs and bomb placement. Very strategic, bomb placement, net, really cool specials. Great story in that, very conflicted, wanted to get his soul back, became a member of the special forces afterwards, turned on the cyber initiative. Great story, great style, a big part of the game.
And what about the new version of Cyrax?
That is an Ed Boon tier.
I actually dislike Cyrax more than Sector.
Absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate Cyrax in MK1. Garbage.
Yeah, story and gameplay is horrible.
Garbage.
Okay, what about Fujin?
Fujin's kind of cool.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
It was a cool boss in Sub-Zero Mythologies. Very interesting playstyle in MK4. And then you don't really see Fujin again until Armageddon, which is just kind of like they threw everybody in there. And then gone until MK11. And playstyle, MK11 was very interesting. MK4 was very interesting. Got a cool look, cool playstyles, and a decently interesting story as God of Wind, and then Raiden became an Elder God in MK4, and then entrusted Fujin as the protector of Earthrealm. So a good backstory. Just a cool character overall.
Where would you put Oni Moloch?
So there's really no playstyle to go off of other than Armageddon, which we didn't use him.
Mm-hmm.
They banned him as a character.
He was kind of ridiculous.
But as the boss, he's kind of cool.
Yeah, as a boss, he was cool. He pissed me off.
So as the boss, I'll put him in kind of cool.
Do you know what his backstory is? I don't actually know much about Moloch.
He's an Oni. They used to like feed him. Quan Chi used to. Let me make sure I got the right story. I got a lot of this stuff written down here.
One of the
I
few
remember
characters I don't know much about.
I remember I was big into his stuff in Deadly Alliance. He's a demon. He had a partnership with Draman. He served Quan Chi. So he was basically hired muscle by Quan Chi. That's what Moloch was.
And where would you put Only Draw him?
Draman? I'm going to put Draman in... Oh, man, it's tough for me to want to put Draman. It cleans up well.
He was good to play. Like he was a strong character, wasn't he?
But he just doesn't have a big role in the story. And to put him in there for one game...
I mean, I personally would have put Moloch and Krusty with Draw him, to be honest with you.
No, I'm going to put Draman in kind of cool.
Okay.
You know, not much on his play style, but a really cool character to play. I think Draman, he's only in, what, 2 games?
Basically, yeah.
But, I mean, his play style is just really cool, man. They're just hired muscle for Quan Chi, so they're just kind of in the background. But as a boss, Moloch is kind of cool, and Draman plays a really cool play style.
Where would you put the original Baraka?
The original Baraka, I'm gonna put in cleans up well.
And what's the reason for that? Because I would have just put Baraka in kind of cool.
The head of the Tarkatan race, which is a big deal in the story, the head Tarkatan, pretty much, obviously he served Shang Tsung, and just Baraka's blades is a big. So they were originally going to put Cabal in MK2, and then that got sidelined for 3, and that became Baraka's blades. He was a really cool character in MK2, and you didn't see him again until MK Gold, and then you saw him in Deception, and he was a very big, very popular character. Huge fan favorite character in Deception. And in MK11, a lot of people actually really liked him. It was refreshing. I mean, in MKX, he was MK11, he was MK1, he was a job. MK9, he was a jobber. He's been a jobber in the storyline. So storyline, he's a jobber, but he's kind of the head jobber. The first person that they call is Baraka. Like, so in the story, it's like, oh, Baraka will beat him for sure, right? But he always loses. But his character design is really cool. So he's consistently in the story in some way or shape or form, even if he's not in the game. But when he is in the game, he's a really cool character. Like, Baraka is just a really cool character. A jobber for sure in the story, but he's in a lot of stories.
And what about the new version?
Tarkatan disease, man. I can't. Ed Boon Tier, man. Ed Boon. Tarkatan disease. Come on, man.
I kind of liked him in the MK1. He was more of a. He was more. There was more character.
No, and he has a better story. He was killed by Kung Lao, stitched back together by Quan Chi. He was killed by Kung Lao in MK2. No, man. Tarkatan disease gotta go.
Fair enough. I would have put him in kind of cool.
No, can't do it.
All right, what about Garrus? Now, Garrus, there's only one version on here because
you know what? I'm actually gonna put Garrus and cleans up well.
You really?
Garrus is a really fucking cool character, man.
But he's so stupid.
Garrus's play style though is very, very MK11. No, I'll put him in kind of cool.
Knocked him down.
I just forgot it. Runaway sand trap. Oh, I just forgot about that, man. But his MK1 play style is actually really cool. His MK1 play style is really cool.
Yeah, but his story is just, I'm like, bro, you're this all-powerful god, and every
but he's
time
not
I see
crusty.
you...
It's tough for me to put Garrus as crusty. He's got the infinity.
No, that's fair. He's kind of cool. He's kind of cool, but he's It's his
Yeah.
story, man. Like he gets jobbed out in the story all the time. All right, what about Kung Lao, original Kung Lao?
Original Kung Lao is cleans up well.
Really, he's pretty iconic. I thought you would have put him in top. Why in cleans up well?
Well, that's right. It's the original. You said, right?
Yeah, the original.
I keep
Kung Lao.
forgetting. We're not put him in top, but we're not splitting it. We're not. One of the most iconic fatalities ever is the hat slice. The
What,
first
the
ever,
standing one or the one on the ground?
the standing one,
Oh, okay.
right down the middle. The first ever truly airborne mobile character in Mortal Kombat history. Story-wise, so the original Kung Lao in the story was not this arrogant person that they made him into MK9, right? The original Kung Lao, Shaolin monk, friend of Liu Kang, descendant of the great Kung Lao, named after him. Spin, such an iconic move. He's got some of the most iconic moves, an iconic story, iconic fatals. Can't go. He's definitely top.
What about the new one?
Ed Boon tier. Fucking stupid story. Just fucking stupid. Like so stupid. No.
No,
Just
that's fair. That's
no.
fair. Okay, next one we'll do is the collector.
If there's ever a character that people want to like, it would be the collector.
Yeah, I feel like that about him. I do want to like
But
him.
he's kind of cool, actually. The collector. He puts you in his back bag, and he's got the best voiceovers in MK11 is, how much coin do you have? I mean,
He reminds me of, if you know the guy in Resident Evil 4, the shop, where he's like, "What are you
Yeah.
buying?" He reminds me
Yeah.
of if that's a Mortal Kombat character.
He's kind of cool, man. The collector's kind of cool.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I'd put him in the same place. All right, next we're gonna do the original Scorpion.
Cream of the crop, obviously.
Oh, where did he go? Oh.
I would say that Scorpion's Get Over Here is even more recognizable than a Street Fighter Fireball.
You think it's more recognizable than the Hadouken?
I think so.
It would be close. It would be close.
It's
I
close.
wouldn't bet against it.
Scorpion, to say he is one of the most iconic video game characters ever, or fighting game characters especially, is an understatement. Scorpion is on a very few characters can be said in the same breath as Ken and Ryu. And Scorpion is on their same tier.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with
which
that.
is the iconic of most iconic.
Where would you put the new Scorpion, Kuai Lang?
Ed Boon tier. Complete garbage again. I mean, why is Kuai Liang Scorpion now? No, terrible.
I can't disagree with that. I thought that was one of the worst casting choices I've ever seen. And do you know what made it even worse? They made him super weak in the story. Like he got knocked off of a bridge, and then he was like, "Oh, I almost died."
Yeah,
and I was
you
like,
saved my life. Yeah,
I was like, "You're Scorpion."
Terrible.
Yeah, no, terrible. All right, what about original Takeda? Do you know, I put the second Takeda in there, but I don't actually know much about his story in MK1 because he's not in the story; he's just in the game. I don't know if you know much about him or if he's just the same as the original.
Takeda is kind of cool. Son of Kenshi, or no,
yeah, it's Kenshi's son.
Kenshi's son.
Trained by Scorpion.
One of the only people that actually have the variation system worked for him. Was really cool. Cool
Mm.
fighting styles, cool story. He's pretty cool. I
And
don't
what?
know. Not enough is known about him in MK1 story, and that's because it's MK1 and it's his MK1 story. So he's Ed Boon tier in MK1.
I heard in MK1 he is the cousin of Kenshi, or Kenshi's his uncle, or something like that.
So stupid, man. Like, dude,
Oh yeah, they said it in the chat. He's Kenshi's cousin.
no, get it out.
Yeah, son of
Cousin.
Kenshi, student of Hanzo, was so cool.
Cousin.
Yeah, it's his cousin. Didn't I put Shinnok? Oh no, we haven't done Shinnok. Yeah, all right. The next one we'll do is Shinnok.
So Shinnok's story is really cool.
I think Shinnok is. If you're asking me, Shinnok's an S tier character.
I was debating between Cream of the Crop and Cleans Up Well, but it's tough for me to put him in Cleans Up Well because he's such a big part of the story.
Do you know what's so good about Shinnok is that he's like a second big bad after Shao Kahn, and I felt like he really did a good job. Like it didn't feel like, oh, I want Shao Kahn back. I was like, I'm willing to accept this new character, which is difficult to do considering how iconic Shao Kahn was.
He didn't feel threatening in MK4, but knowing the MKX version of Shinnok changes all that perception. Like if we didn't have the MKX Shinnok and we're going off MK4, probably not. I'm going to put Shinnok in Cream of the Crop, one, because of his story, mainly because of where he is in the lore. MK4 Shinnok was not a good boss.
Mm.
However, as a character, he's S tier.
What about Sub-Zero Mythologies Shinnok?
Really awesome.
Yeah, that's what picked out for me. Like when I played that, I was like, yeah, he's pretty cool.
Awesome. Mm-hmm.
All right, what about Ferrator?
I'm going to put Ferrator and Cleans Up Well.
Really? That is
Man, that's such an original way to play with the lackey on your back.
Mm. Oh, you're doing it purely based on playstyle. Okay.
Well, it's tough to.
I think it's kind of cool. There's not really much
story. The story is really cool. Yeah, I'll put kind of cool because the story is really cool. How it's you have it. They're symbionts, and then the one is the young one. The older one dies. The young one becomes the big one. It has another young one on their back.
Mm. Yeah, I think
I'll go kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's a cool concept.
For having nothing to go to kind of cool simply off play style is really, yeah.
Where would you rank the original Sindel?
Original Sindel has to go in Cream of the Crop. Wife of King Jared, mother of Katana. Awesome story. Really cool play style. And a fan favorite. Checks all the boxes.
Very, very cool design as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like her hair being a weapon is a really cool concept.
Yep.
And she's like a banshee, isn't she?
Yep.
So yeah, what about the new version of her, the MK1 version?
Put her in Ed Boon tier. I like everything else with MK. Come on, man.
Hold on. Wait, what's the new Sindel? She isn't that different to the original one.
Oh my God.
She's just less psychotic.
You are my creator? I did. Get it out. Get it out. Get it out. I'm a Star Wars guy, but if I had to watch Hayden Christensen go, you underestimate my power on a loop over and over and over again. No, bro. Dude.
I don't think she's crap though. I think She hold on. She leaves much to be desired, but she's not crap in MK1.
No. Then doesn't she fight herself and dies and sacrifices? Shut up! Get it out. No.
That's
Get it out. Empress Sindel. What? No, get it out. No, get it out.
okay. What about original Havoc?
Storyline shit. And MK1 has a lot to do with that.
Well, no, just the original one, the first Havoc.
Oh, the first Havoc? I'm going to put, man, I have to put him in kind of cool because there's not much on him. Right?
It's a very cool design.
Cool design. The only thing stopping Havoc from being in Cleans Up Well is very little known about him up
Well,
until
that's not true. Yeah, MKX, the comic, like they did go
MKX
into
comic, but again, it's a very compared to all the characters that are in the tier above him, they dwarf him in story.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and he only had 2 games to be in. So he's only in 2 games. So it's tough for me to put him. And I guess you could say Ashra is the same thing, right? But yeah, that's tough. I did put Ashra there. and you have a little bit more to go off of with Havoc.
Yeah, there is more to go off with Havoc. Yeah, there is more than Ashura.
I'm gonna put him in Cleans Up Well.
Yeah, people did really like him as well. So
I'm gonna put him in Cleans Up Well.
What about the new version of Havoc?
Ed Boon tier.
Yeah, I've got to say that was it's not a good look.
Has all the Kamidogus and loses. Can't do it, man.
Where is he on here? I can't see him. I just saw him. There he is. Ed Boon tier. What about Serena? Character people don't talk about too much.
It's tough for me to not put her in cream of the crop.
Really? Serena?
Probably the original requested character. Serena had a huge I don't want to put her in kind of cool. Serena has a huge fan base. Like a massive fan base. Massive fan base.
But why is that?
The relationship with Bihan and Mythologies.
Mm-hmm.
And then they loved her in Armageddon. Probably the most played character in Armageddon was Serena.
I mean, it's your tier.
I gotta put her in. I'll put her in Cleans Up Well.
All right.
The relationship with Bihan is huge, and the most popular character in Armageddon. There's just not more. She just needs more to be in that tier above her.
What about mocap?
Carlos Pacina, the GOAT. Kind of cool, man. Out of that respect. The GOAT, Carlos Pacina, man. Carlos One Take Pacina. The GOAT of motion capture. Just basically had just copycat fighting styles, Had Taekwondo, so because of that was automatically a good character in Deadly Alliance, and it's the GOAT.
How about Bo Raicho?
Cream of the crop, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely.
Wait, hold on 1 second. I gotta take this 1 second, Mike.
No problem. Well, whilst he's there, there are some characters that I actually forgot to add in here, so I might as well put them on here. Whilst away, I didn't put Chronica on here. Completely forgot about Chronica. Let me add her in. What's chat saying? Oh, it's just a minute. Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. So I forgot to put Kwai Lang on there. Let me add him in. Who else have I forgotten? Leave Chronica out. We've got to put Chronica. You forgot Robocop. I am not putting Robocop on there, bro. Leave it out. Pack it in, mate. I think those are the only two I left out. It was Kwai Lang and Cyber Sub. Well, that is just Kwai Lang, so there's no need to do both of them separately. Yeah, those are the only two that I left out. Let me add them in. There we go. What's the third Scorpion for? That was a mistake. I was making the thumbnail and I accidentally saved the picture in the same folder that I was copying over to this. So the Scorpion, the subs are in there. Ignore them. We've already ranked those characters. Where's Goku on the tier list? You're right. You know, where is Goku on the tier list? Where's Batman? Do you know who I would love for a guest character in Mortal Kombat? I've never heard anyone say this. As a matter of fact, before Tom gets back, can anyone guess? I've said it once on the channel. Does anyone know which character I've always wanted as a guest character in Mortal Kombat? Ever since the early 2000s, I've always said this character would be sick in Mortal Kombat. Is it a comic book character? No, it's not a comic book character. It's not Baki. It's not an anime character either. I'll give you a hint. It's a character from a movie. Would I put Feng in Mortal Kombat? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sailor Moon. You're close. No, I'm joking. Undertaker? Nah. I did say Undertaker at one point for a guess, but not my most requested. The Crow? Nope. Chuck Norris? Well, Chuck Norris should be in every game, to be fair. How helpful, Mike, a movie character. How can I narrow it down? It's a very popular supernatural / action movie from the early 2000s. Not Blades. It's not a comic book character. It's not Neo. It's not Ghost Rider. Think about it, guys. A popular action movie that also has supernatural elements in it. Not Hellraiser. Nope. Demolition Man. Nope. The Mask. No. I did say The Mask once would be cool, but he's not my main pick. Xena. Nope. Akuma. Nope. CJ, what part of popular action / supernatural movie did you miss? All right,
where are we?
Tom's back now, so I'll just tell you guys what the answer is. The answer was Imhotep from The Mummy. He's the character that I would want to see. The character that I'd want to see in Mortal Kombat the most.
Imhotep. Yeah.
Yeah, Imhotep.
All right, I have a trivia question for the chat, and we'll see who knows the answer at the end of it.
Okay.
The move known as the Ice Clone is actually a fan-given name. Who knows the actual John Tobias given name of the move? So in MK3, the actual move name is not Ice Clone.
I have no idea the answer to that question. That'll be interesting to know.
All right, where are we at?
Okay, so ignore this Scorpion and ignore this Sub-Zero. I accidentally added them in there twice, but we'll do Kwai Lang now. And this also accounts for Cyber Sub-Zero as well.
Cream of the crop.
Do you think he's better than Bihan Sub-Zero?
I'm an Ice Clone guy, man. I'm an Ice Clone guy. And in story, it's a matter of preference. Bihan has moments where he's ruthless, but he also, when push came to shove in MK Mythologies, he was on Team Earthrealm. You know what I mean? Kuai Liang is probably more diplomatic. You know what I mean? I would say.
Much more.
So it's just a matter of opinion. I'm a more Kuai Liang person, but I also love Bihan as well. So
yeah, I prefer Bihan because I just think how ruthless he is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's ruthless, exactly. In fact, in the MK1 book, when it talked about his move, how it freezes, how it leaves you frozen, leaving you at Sub-Zero's mercy, but it says, which is a problem because he possesses none. Like, just awesome. Just awesome. Just absolute no mercy. So.
Yeah, ice cold.
Yeah.
Okay, what about original Noob Saibot? Not MK1, original Noob Saibot.
Original Noob Saibot, I'm actually going to put in cream of the crop because
The greatest jobber.
an iconic character in the story. He's in WaveNet. He's in the beta of MK4. He's a hidden character in MK2. You know, you have to what is it? 50 wins or whatever it was.
Is this the answer to the question, by the way? It was called Ice Statue.
No, it was not called Ice Statue.
Oh, nice try.
Iconic story how he was used by Quan Chi in multiple games. So he's like an iconic hidden character, then kind of a secret character that they bring in WaveNet. Beta character in MK4. So yeah, I'm gonna put him there. One more second. I gotta take this one last call.
All right. Can't believe some of you were saying who's Imhotep. God, how old are some of you in the chat? Some of you shouldn't even be awake at this time. It's coming up to bedtime. It's almost 10 o'clock. How some people here not seen the Mummy? That is shocking. But yeah, the Imhotep would have been he would have been the character that I would have wanted to see them put in a Mortal Kombat game. I feel like he would have fit into the story so easily. He would have fit into the gameplay so easily. Like his human form. No, what you would do with Imhotep is you would start him off in his mummy form, and you would give him the ability, like Shang Tsung, how he absorbs power from taking people's souls. During the fight, you'd give Imhotep an ability, much like they gave Yuhaba in the new Bleach game. Every time he does a certain attack, or like that thing that he does where his mouth goes wide open, he still sort of eats you. Every time he does an attack like that, it would put back some of his skin and unlock new abilities. That's how I would have designed him. Every time you hit that move where he sort of like, I don't want to say the word because I know Urban Boy is in here, but you know what I'm saying. If you've seen the Mummy, you see how he kills people. Then I would have given him that ability, and then by the time you've gotten all of your skin back, he's at full power. Duke of Nylon, thank you for the $2. Was it Ice Construct? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll ask him when he comes back. So Jamie from Street Fighter 6. Well, yeah, it'd kind of be like, it'd kind of be like having a drink, but you would need to land the attack. Jamie could just stand at full screen and drink, whereas Yuhaba in Rebirth of Souls has to land an attack on you and build up his meter so that it can unlock different stages of his evolution until he gets to his final evolution where he becomes the Almighty. So it would be something like that. The Tom Cruise Mummy film is actual dog shit. Yeah, that wasn't good. And Tom Cruise is like Tom Cruise, Denzel Washington, Jackie Chan. Those are my favorite actors. And even I couldn't co-sign that Tom Cruise film. Yeah, CJ, actually, Pennywise was my second character. So Pennywise is the character that I'd like to see. If they couldn't get Imhotep, I'd like to see Pennywise because he just makes so much sense for a Mortal Kombat game. Like Pennywise makes perfect sense. He can morph into anything. He's a god, and he could probably scare people during the gameplay. The OG Mummy films are peak. I remember watching them as a kid. They were peak. Mummy and Mummy Returns were brilliant. Can you talk about Revenants as a whole? I hate them. Yeah, the Revenants sucked in MKX. It was just lazy. Really didn't like it. It's not even much to talk about. It just sucked. Pinhead would be good too. Yeah, I thought Jeepers Creepers would be cool as well, but then I think there's a lot of controversy surrounding Jeepers Creepers because the creator of it turned out to be a pedo or something. I think he got convicted. The Scorpion King would have been cool as well. Who else? The Mask. I said the Mask would have been cool because the Mask is basically Loki. Did they ever play Dead by Daylight? Nice try. You weren't going to get me to say that. Still no Ash Williams. Yeah, Ash should be all right. Ash should be okay, I think. What other characters would I like to see in Mortal Kombat? Man, Pennywise would be so cool. Please let me time Perfection for like 5 minutes. No, leave Perfection alone. Leave him alone. I haven't even seen him commenting. He hasn't even said anything. Hey, if he wants to, listen, Gooners still have a place in this world. Okay, I know I take the piss sometimes, but it's fine. Let him do. He's not doing anything illegal right now, anyway. I don't know. In the chat, anyway. Has he done something that you guys want to time him out for? I don't understand. He's been calling a bunch of characters woke the whole stream, Mike. Yeah, but that's his freedom of speech, right? That's his free. If he wants to call characters woke, that's up to him. I had him on the stream the other day. He made his points. All of them were refuted. If you don't like what he's saying, just refute his points. I do read chat, TJ, but I'm trying to pay attention to what Tom is saying, so I'm not just sitting here in silence. Would Yoshimitsu or Brian fit in MK? I don't think any Tekken characters fit in MK. Hey, Jahuti. Hope you're doing well. Hospital bed? What happened? Yeah, you gotta let him land, Masats. You gotta let people talk. Chucky and Tiffany from Child's Play would be perfect. Nah, I don't want to see Chucky in Mortal Kombat. I'm not a Chucky fan. Never was. Never understood why people were scared of him. I was more scared of. Do you remember that episode of Goosebumps with the puppet, the ventriloquist puppet? See if I can get a picture of it. Goosebumps puppet. Yeah, this fucker. This guy used to scare the shit out of me. I remember when I was a kid and I saw this character and I was like, what the hell is that? This guy actually scared me. This one specifically. I hated him so much. Goosebumps was Slappy. That was his name. Was it Slappy? Yeah, that was it. Listen, Goosebumps had some bangers, man. They turned Goosebumps into garbage with that Jack Black thing. But original Goosebumps back in the day, that shit was peak. And do you remember that? What was her name? I think her name was Mary Beth. Do you remember this girl at Halloween went to a Halloween store and she wanted the scariest mask possible? And the guy that owned the Halloween store kept on saying, no, you can't have that mask because she wanted to scare some girls that were picking on her. Carly Beth, that was it, not Mary Beth. Carly Beth, yeah. And she got the mask and it like stuck onto her head and she couldn't get it off. And then she was in the graveyard at nighttime, and those masks from the stores were like floating in the sky trying to scare her. I remember watching that like this. I was like, I can't watch this shit. I don't know why it freaked me out so much. I have no idea why. Because now I look back at it and I'm like, it's obviously not scary. Or the episode where the entire time you think that the girl is the bad one in the episode, like she's a ghost, but it gets to the end of the episode and she's hiding in the corner and she's hiding from the grown-ups. And when the grown-ups appear on screen, they turn around and the back of their heads have faces in them, and the ghost was scared of the aliens. I was like, that's a pretty cool twist. Goosebumps had some good writing, man. I remember the episode where they went to some theme park. They went to a theme park, and it was like a monster theme park, but it was like a reality TV show for monsters. Like we were the dummies in it, and they killed everyone in the show. Like the monsters watched everyone being killed. I think they drove the family off a cliff or something. Like they were betting on who would die and who wouldn't. Yeah, Goosebumps were peak, man. I might do a whole run. And the opening thing to Goosebumps, it was so sick. A whole vibe. You could play that shit in a club and people would dance. Are You Afraid of the Dark was probably scarier. I think it probably was, but I don't think the writing was as good as it wasn't as creative as Goosebumps. It wasn't as creative, and the music in Goosebumps was better. That opening thing gave me the creeps. Yeah, man, that opening thing was good. when they had the dog sitting on the front and his eyes turn green. Yeah, it's good times, man. They don't make shows like that anymore. If they brought a show out like that today, I reckon parents would complain. They'd be like, "Oh, why are you guys trying to scare our kids?" Blah blah blah. Oh. What other guest characters would I like to see? Marlon from Him, bro. I watched Him. Me and my girl went to watch Him, yeah. And I said to her, I'm glad I watched it once, but I'll never watch it again. It was so stupid. It was. I couldn't watch it a second time. Like there's certain things that I could watch 2 or 3 times. I can't watch that film again. It was so dumb. Is Tom taking a nap break? No, he's on the phone. He'll be back in a moment. We ain't got that many characters left. Yeah, I hope you get better, Jahu. Sorry to hear about that. Keep your head up. Which Him movie? It's another Jordan Peele film, and it was not. Jordan Peele's
All right,
made.
I am back now.
Okay.
Was it Ice Construct? It was not.
Damn. You got fumbling. All right. Next character we're gonna do is Goro.
Prince Goro.
Oh wait, no, sorry. We hadn't finished Noob Saibot, the new Noob Saibot.
Oh, Ed Boon tier.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just horrible. He's the big boss of Chaos Reigns, and he's a complete jobber. And then for some reason, even he beats Havoc, doesn't he?
Yeah, he smacked.
Even he does.
It made no sense. The power scaling was all over the place.
This guy, the end of Chaos Reigns with with Noob Saibot versus Havoc is like watching a main event of Barry Horowitz versus the Brooklyn Brawler. It's two jobbers, just
the Repo Man. All right.
At least Repo Man was smashed first. At least Barry Darso was smashed first.
Yeah, I won't disagree. Noob Saibot. It was so disappointing watching him come back and 5 minutes later losing to Tanya. I couldn't believe it. And she knocked him out as well. So
terrible.
Yeah. And then he got up and attacked Scorpion. And I think Scorpion lost. And I was like, what's going on?
Stupid.
Yeah, Goro. Where would you put Goro?
Prince Goro. General of the armies of Shao Kahn and Prince of the subterranean realm of Shokan. Goro, who killed his brother to prove himself to his father. The half-human, half-dragon who killed the great not Kung Lao, the great Kung Lao. He is cream of the crop only because he is the original sub-boss. Goro in MK1, beating Goro was a big deal. You got to understand, you go to the arcade, you're trying to beat Goro. It's a huge deal for most people. You know, in the story, Goro's is really cool. His place as a boss is very high. Very high. Didn't become a playable character until Trilogy. I mean, I can't rank people like Goro based on playstyle, obviously, right? You just can't. He was in MKX, but there's only been 12 Mortal Kombats, and you couldn't actually play him as a real legit character up until the 10th one.
Yeah.
So
still iconic though.
Iconic. Cream of the crop. Iconic.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Whilst on
you know
Goro,
how many kids Goro took their money? How many kids went to the mall and left without beating MK1 because of Goro?
Well, whilst we're on Goro, where would you put Kintaro?
Kintaro. As a boss, he was, again, much like Goro, took a lot of people's money.
I lost to him more than I did Goro. I hated Kintaro.
MK's got really good bosses.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put him in cream of the crop.
Okay, I would have put him in cleans up well. I don't think he's on Goro's level.
You know what? Because we don't ever have a playable Kintaro. Put him in cleans up well because we actually have a playable Goro.
What about
He's never been a
Motaro?
playable character. Oh. He's in Trilogy. He's in Armageddon. Can't really use him in either.
Armageddon Motaro is. Then they shave his legs off.
In the Annihilation movie, he was terrible.
Mm. Yeah, I thought that was Stevie Richards when I first saw it.
She didn't hand out any Stevie kicks, that's for sure. By the way, me being my age, I was at ECW Arena many nights, man. Many nights. Awesome. Yeah. Oh, fucking awesome. Motaro's pretty cool, man, but I kind of cool. I can't go any higher than that.
Yeah, I think he's kind of cool. And how about Chronica?
A Titan. Chronica's kind of cool. She's not crusty.
No, she's not crusty.
Kind of cool.
Do you know what? Actually, I retract that. I think she is kind of crusty, to be honest with you.
No. She's a Titan.
She's a Titan and she lost. How does that work?
She did, but
how did she lose? She's in charge.
Cool. She's still her story is kind of cool, man.
How do you be in charge of everything and lose?
Ed Boon.
It didn't even make any sense.
Somebody did ask Taven and Dagon, but they're not going anywhere. You don't want that.
I'm going to put them in anyway. I'll add them in. I've put them on here now.
All right.
My bad. I forgot about these two. I knew I was forgetting someone. Next character that we will do is Nightwolf. Let me just add them in.
I'm stuck. Should I put him in cream of the crop?
I always thought I would say cleans up well because I feel like he's a super cool design and he's kind of cool to play. But in the story, I don't feel like there's enough for me to say he's top.
Not in the story, and what's gonna ultimately drop him for me to cream of the crop to cleans up well is MK Annihilation. How do you like my animality? Get him out. Put him in cleans up well. Awesome character. Awesome character. Not quite iconic in Mortal. That top tier is for the iconic characters. Oh, I never did Boraicho. I did. I put him up there, but I had to leave.
No, you left on Noob Saibot.
Why is Boraicho in the top tier then in cream of the crop?
You put him there,
but I didn't give an explanation. I had to.
No,
the first time I had to leave, I said put him up there, and then I didn't give an explanation for Boraicho.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Can go on.
Yeah, the reason why, put some respect on his name, Master Boraicho, is up there. For one, he taught Liu Kang the move he needed to defeat Shang Tsung. I love, just me personally, fat characters. The more disgusting they are, the more obnoxiously fat and disgusting they are, the more I love them. And Boraicho is the cream of the crop for that. Great addition in MK Deadly Alliance. Great in a massive part of the story. So he's a huge part of the MK story. A really cool character, and he's a fan favorite. So he checks every box.
Are you a fan of Rufus and Bob?
I played Bob in Tekken 6. Didn't play Street Fighter 4.
Okay. The only thing I was going to say about Nightwolf is that he's pretty cool in Defenders of the Realm.
He is.
I liked him in
But
that.
when you look at the iconic characters in the top tier, he doesn't have that kind of iconic.
Yeah. No, I agree. How about Jarek?
Crusty.
Great MK4 ending, though.
Yeah, great MK4 ending, and that's the only thing that keeps him out of Ed Boon tier. Never, Sonya, the Black Dragon, live on! Drax, you have to arrest me.
Didn't he have like 3 versions of that ending with Jax as well? Or with Sonya?
It was Sonya's ending, Jarek's ending, and Jack's ending.
Yeah. How about original Reptile?
Oh, cream of the crop, man. The first ever hidden character in Mortal Kombat. Huge. Not good in MK2, but obviously it was cool for the fans to see, like, wow, Reptile's playable. It was cool. For me, here I am 16 years old. Excuse me, and I'm like, wow, Reptile? It was awesome. UMK3, he's in that game as well. Let me also say one more thing before I keep going on Reptile. One of the other main reasons why I have Sub-Zero where he is, and Sub-Zero is behind Scorpion. You can put Bihan and Kuai Liang there because Sub-Zero, just as a Sub-Zero, is the only character to never miss a Mortal Kombat game. Sub-Zero has been in every single Versus game, and he is the only character to do so. So he's about as big of a staple as there is. So who are we on again?
We did Jarek. We are on. Damn, who are we on?
Chat, who are we on? I already forgot. Reptile. So yeah, cream of the crop. Just being the first ever hidden character in Mortal Kombat history is huge. Cool player does obviously he's very cool in UMK3, maybe not so much MK2. 4, the reptilian design was really cool. For the reptile design, it was also really cool in Deadly Alliance. And then they kind of gave him his little head wrap. I don't know what that was about. But overall, I'd say he's a really cool character. And the reptile in the lore is really a big deal as the protector of Shang Tsung. Also as the first ever hidden character in Mortal Kombat history. That gets a lot of points.
Okay. Before we move on to the new reptile, Sizor, whatever his name is. Mr. Jamie, thank you for the $4.99. Would like to see Tom do a Tekken panel with Finn T, Shinblade, King J, and I think that's G6. Would you like to be on a Tekken panel?
I would love to. My Tekken history stops at 6. So, and being one of the very close friends with JOP, I was around for a lot of the Tekken 3, Tekken Tag, Tekken 4. I know a lot of that history. I could give you the whole history of the Tekken Tag Nationals and Tekken 4 and Tekken 5.
What we could do is, because Harada has left, and I haven't actually spoken about it at all yet on the channel. I was meant to on Monday, but the whole Coach Kazama thing happened. So Thursday is actually the Game Awards, Tom. I forgot to tell you, it's the Game Awards on Thursday. So maybe we can do a Tekken talk next week, and you can be a part of it.
Sure, I'd love to.
All right, awesome. I'll let the boys know. Then
love listening to Finn T when he was going on about Coach Kazama. That was
pretty
awesome. Funny. He was like in the journey, had the evidence, and that was awesome.
No, Finn T is very entertaining. Yeah, we'll do a Tekken talk tomorrow, and you can jump on because you've been playing Tekken since the beginning as well, so you'll know a lot about Harada. Maybe you can tell some stories about the Tekken scene. All right, so the next character is Sizor, the new reptile.
Ed Boon. Ed Boon tier.
He's one of the characters people actually liked
Let me
for
turn this light on
MK1.
really quick. Yeah, Ed Boon tier.
Damn. No love for MK1 at all.
No, no, no. None of these stories are good, man. No. Sell his story to Netflix. Make him make an animated movie about it. No.
Backbreaker, thank you for the $5. Not there yet, but OG Shao Kahn is the best MK character in my opinion. Well, since we're talking about him, where would you put the OG Shao Kahn?
Cream of the crop. Shao Kahn was that motherfucker when it comes to bosses in the arcade. Shao Kahn. This dude, as a boss, might be the greatest arcade fighting game boss ever.
Mm-hmm.
Some might say Gil or someone like that. Shao Kahn's up there, dude.
No,
Maybe
Gil's not. If anyone from Street Fighter, it'd be Bison or Akuma.
Bison, but none of the bosses for Street Fighter were difficult.
No,
is what I mean.
Well,
Shao Kahn's not difficult
Alpha
either.
3 was pretty bad.
Alpha 3. So as a boss, he is that motherfucker. In the story, dude, they stopped Mortal Kombat in MK1. They beat him in MK2, beat him in MK3. He's not around in MK4. They stop him in Armageddon and in Deception. And then in Armageddon, they have this tower. He beats everybody and still becomes the supreme being. And Raiden has to go back in time.
Yeah, that was pretty sick.
Shao Kahn is a motherfucker. And how does NetherRealm Studios show the motherfucker that Shao Kahn is in MK11? When MK11 comes out, how does he play? Sweep, 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 down one, down one. Who the fire that man? Who was the guy that they said, you, buddy, you're designing Shao Kahn? And he says, I think he should do a bunch of sweeps and down ones. Get him out! Get him out!
Yeah, I agree.
Get him out! Get him out! Right now! Get him out! My God, what a disservice they did. I know they made him better, but original MK11 Shao Kahn, what a disservice to that character.
What about General Shao?
Ed Boon tier.
Yeah, I can't even defend the General Shao.
This character is so garbage, they thought he might have been Steppenwolf from Injustice 3. Get him out! Get him out!
What about Jackie?
Nobody from MK11 is going to want me to put Jackie anywhere else but Ed Boon tier.
I would put Jackie in Ed Boon tier as well. I don't want to see her ever come back.
I'm going to put Jackie in kind of crusty.
And what's your reason for it?
So I liked some of her MK1 design. I mean, her MK X design. Excuse me. I liked it. I thought Shotgun was a really cool style, even though it was a vortex. I mean, that's MKX, so everything's a vortex. And full auto was actually really cool as well. And the second variation, the third variation was pretty good as well. Whatever we call high tech, but just wasn't as good. In MK11, just, I mean, I can't, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, everything in MK11 was so cut and dry. And she was one of the characters that had her own game, which was a good thing. We needed more characters like Jackie in MK11. The problem is we didn't have enough that kind of played their own game. But her story, Jax's daughter, and she's Jax's daughter, and nobody cares about her.
Yeah.
Just very underwhelming. She's kind of crusty.
What about Cassie?
Cassie Cage is, and I think she became an iconic character. I have her in Cleans Up Well. She was.
I feel like she was forced.
Huh?
I feel like she was forced. Like they forced. It felt like the WWE when they want you to like someone.
So like Charlotte Flair, where she just wins everything.
Yeah, like her story in MKX was that she's actually a descendant of these superpowered gods,
or like original John Cena.
Yeah, like we want you to like her.
Yeah,
it's not like a cool character design like Takeda where people just like him. It was like we want you to like her. She's the girl.
And by the way, let me just say this: I'm not a John Cena fan.
I am.
I am not a John Cena fan. I am old school. So I loved the Doctor of Thugonomics. That was really cool. Just crazy how a random plane ride where John Cena thinks he's going to be on the out. And I believe it was Bruce Pritchard that kind of heard him doing a lot of his freestyle thing. And they pitched it to Vince McMahon, and then Vince McMahon wasn't convinced of it. Huh? Stephanie.
They were on the back of a bus.
It was Stephanie and Bruce Pritchard was there, was it not?
Yeah, it was on a bus, I think, not a plane.
Was it a bus? It was the bus then.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he does it to Vince and completely destroys him. And Vince was like, yeah, go out there and do it. The Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick was, which is why most people don't realize the lore between Lesnar and Cena even goes back to the Doctor of Thugonomics days, where, but when John Cena first became John Cena, it was like a forced, this is your new Hulk Hogan superhero, right? It was forced. Which a lot of people didn't like John Cena. And then he never lost. John Cena had like a 92% win rate run year.
But his matches were actually good though. That there's a lot of memorable John Cena matches.
He does. If there was no Brock Lesnar, I think John Cena would be remembered differently. You need kryptonite to allow Superman to exist and not be obnoxious, right? The fact that there's that guy who Cena never really overcame, right, makes it okay. Otherwise, it would just be I win. And I think what happened is because Cena, man, I'll never forget when I was watching MJF and CM Punk in AEW. And MJF had that crucial line when he's like, I don't even recognize you anymore because you're all like more buttoned down and you might as well come out here preaching hustle, loyalty, and respect. I mean, like it was too much like the Hogan thing at first, right? The hustle, loyalty, respect rubbed me the wrong way because it was very much like, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, believe it in yourself. So John Cena, the original Cena, was forced. The original Cena was forced. But Cena's got some memorable matches. And he was good. So I'm just not a Cena fan because the original Cena I feel like was too forced. And John Cena just never lost. Like he lost up almost as much as Hulk Hogan did in the 80s, which is almost never.
But to be fair, the top guys are always like that. Like Bruno held the title for how many years?
There is a saying that fans like to use called "buried by Cena" during his early days. You know it, and I know it. And it's just kind of like.
To be fair, though, I think in WWE and wrestling, it seems like a business where you have to step on people. Like you can't be charitable. You got to put yourself over.
You are. But remember, CM Punk's original thing was, I got too big during an era when it was supposed to be about Cena, so they just tried to bury me.
Yeah.
Rather than, you know what I mean? It's almost like the WWE had magic with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, where you had these megastars that were able to coexist without it existed because The Rock was so big, it didn't matter if he lost. Right? He could lose to Austin again, and nobody cared. Right? And then when you had these two guys who were just red hot, white hot, for Triple H to say, hey, you need a Darth Vader. You can't make it Austin or The Rock. They're too white hot. You need a Darth Vader. And Triple H might be the greatest Darth Vader ever. That's what he's such a great Darth Vader character. He's a heel, not in the manner of Ted DiBiase. You know what I mean? Where, you know what I mean? You generally hate him. He's just. Anyway, I digress from this. I don't want to digress from this thing.
Just before we go back to this, I just want to ask you: did you see Bret Hart's recent interview?
So I'm a Bret Hart fan. He's my favorite wrestler. Let me just say this.
I met Bret Hart in person. He comes across as such a nice guy, but I feel like he's pretty bitter towards the business. Did you hear his interview though? Did you hear what he said?
Yes.
I'm not even going to repeat it because I don't want WWE to flag my video, but he said something crazy on that interview.
It's a shame that the level of respect between Bret and Shawn is not what it should be right now. Professionally, it is, but personally, it's not. It is a shame that we lost both Bret and Shawn around the exact same time. Bret going to WCW and then Shawn to injury and then.
Yeah, no, that was unfortunate.
As far as wrestling goes, I think Bret's wrestling holds up better than Shawn's.
Maybe the technical wrestling, I'd agree.
As far as calling a match, in-ring psychology, I think Bret's probably the best to do that.
Yeah. It's hard to bet against him.
When you hear Bruce Pritchard and they're like, hey, how did that Bret Hart, Lex Luger thing work out? And he goes, hey, that was all Bret, brother. Bret just told Lex. Bret Hart.
Do you know what? We'll do a wrestling podcast because we'll be here all night talking about it.
Bret Hart's nickname by the great Gorilla Monsoon is the excellence of execution. And when Gorilla Monsoon gives you that name, when Bret was just a team with Jim Neidhart, you know, wrestling dangerous Danny Davis on MSG, he was called the excellence of execution. They didn't force it. That's just who he was.
Yeah. 100%. We'll do a wrestling podcast because we could be here all day talking about it. Yeah, we'll come back. We'll jump back into Mortal Kombat. All right, the next character we'll do is Meat. Where would you place Meat on this tier list?
Meat's in between kind of crusty and kind of. Meat doesn't really do anything.
He doesn't. I think he's crap, to be honest.
Crusty. Put him in crusty.
But you don't want to put him with MK1 characters.
No, I put Meat over MK1.
What about human original Smoke?
Cream of the crop. Iconic. Hidden character in MK2. Dude, Smoke peeking out from behind the trees in the living forest. Iconic. Then you get in UMK3, you get to play Human Smoke. Iconic.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but is Smoke the first one to have the spear? Was it Scorpion? Because I remember he had it as well.
It was Scorpion, because Scorpion was an MK1. Remember?
Oh yeah. Because I kept on seeing Smoke doing it. I was like, why has Smoke got the spear? But I started on Trilogy, so it's probably why I got confused. Why did Smoke have the spear?
Why not?
Why didn't it come back?
It did in UMK3.
No, I mean in obviously in the later installments since. we've gone away from the arcade era. Why didn't they continue giving it to him?
Because the designer was no longer John Tobias.
Fair. What about Cyber Smoke?
He's kind of cool.
What about him makes you place him lower than the original
So
one?
he was the original UKK, which is Ultimate Combat Code. But really nothing moves you about him. Not like Human Smoke.
What about MK1 Smoke?
Ed Boon tier.
Yeah, I'd agree. I actually hated him in this game.
And guys who like Tom, MK1, you realize as of right now, your scene is over. Because of MK1. Your scene is over. Because of MK1. Not much good can be had from that.
Khan's TV, thank you for the $5. Has been the biggest threat to the universe in sandals for eons, and he was the OG villain to make the heroes literally break time and space to win. Oh, I think he's talking about Shao Kahn.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yeah, he was. What was the death bout? I think they put him up against Heihachi. Was it Shao Kahn versus? I can't remember. It was someone. Yeah, Shao Kahn is top tier iconic.
Super top.
Okay, how about Taven and Dagon?
Crusty as fuck.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty lame. Which one do you think is worse than the other?
They're both equally crusty.
Yeah, I think Armageddon could have done without them. All right, what about Kira?
Kira's crusty, man. I mean, she's like a Suhao type of character. She's just crusty. She'll probably never come back, and I don't think anybody cares if she does.
Was Kira the character in the Mortal Kombat Conquest series? Was that her as well? There was Kung Lao. There was a thief. I think it was Kira, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's the only time that
No, because that came out before. No, it wasn't her. That came out before. No, it wasn't her. No.
What was the name of the girl on the show?
I don't remember the name of the girl, but it wasn't. It's not her. It's not Kira.
Does anyone remember her name?
Kira's a member of the Red Dragon.
Tisha. Oh, maybe. What was the other guy called? There was three of them, right? It was Kung Lao, the girl, and there was another dude. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah, Kira's another. She's a gender bent Kano, basically. Yeah, with Sonya's kiss.
How about the original Rain?
Oh man, the original Rain. He's so iconic. It's tough for me to put him in Cleans Up Well because Rain's an iconic character.
Is he a play on Prince?
Yes. I'm going to put him in Cream of the Crop. Rain is iconic. Originally, Prince of Edenia, self-proclaimed Prince of Edenia. Just iconic. Rain's iconic.
And what about the new Rain?
Ed Boon tier.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. He was pretty lame. Darius.
Darius is kind of cool, man. You know, he looks like Shaft. He has the gauntlets. Darius is really cool, dude.
He looks like he works in a petrol station.
And they did him so bad as a cameo. I mean, like, Darius is really cool, man. Cool fucking character, man.
It's kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah.
I've forgotten this guy's name.
Dairu,
that was it, yeah. Dairu. Where would you put Dairu?
So Dairu, one of the most infamous moves.
The floor slam.
The tombstone drop.
Yeah.
One of the most infamous moves in MK history. Uh,
Wasn't he pretty busted?
he was the guard that became a mercenary. Was I think probably the story. He was imprisoned for killing his family's murderer. Freed by Darius. It was like he's between like order and chaos. That whole chestnut. I'm gonna put Dairo was kind of cool.
Okay. Next to Darius.
I mean, I might. It's. Do I want to put him in cleans up? Well, no, he's not around enough. No, can't do it.
How about Ermac, the original Ermac?
The original Ermac. Was it MK1 they made him King Jared?
Yeah. But that's a different one. That's a different Ermac.
Okay. That Ermac is Ed Boon tier.
Where is he on here? There he is.
I'm going to put Ermac in cleans up well. He's just not as iconic as the other characters.
We already put Cobra on the list, bro. Cobra's on there already. How about Blaze?
So Blaze was obviously the character. Where do we put Cassie, by the way?
I just saw her there. She's you put in kind of crusty, right?
No, I put her in kind of cool, I think.
Oh,
right?
kind of cool.
Or did I put her in? Why did we stop talking about? We started talking about wrestling. That's why, because you said she was forced. You said she was forced. I don't know that Cassie Cage was forced.
They literally just slapped on an elder god story onto her. They're like, "This is your new hero."
That's true. I'll keep her in kind of cool. Yeah. So who are we on now?
How about Blaze? Yeah.
So Blaze was fighting in the background of the pit. It's a fan fiction character. Honestly, the way they did Blaze was not really cool, man. Like,
nah, it's kind of lame.
Blaze is kind of crusty. It's just is.
That's another character that was just forced into the main bad guy spot.
Just forced into it.
Original Kitana.
Oh, that is cream of the crop. The Emperor's adopted daughter, Shin Shao Kahn, daughter of King Jared, daughter to Sindel, Mortal Kombat royalty. One of the most iconic characters ever. Huge in MK2, a huge fan favorite character. Huge. Checks all the boxes. Iconic story, iconic play style, and huge fan favorite. She's too iconic.
What about the new one?
She is Ed Boon tier.
But the new one doesn't seem that different to the old one.
Katana Khan. Ugh.
Wait, no. That was the second timeline one. The MK1 version didn't become a Khan, did she?
I can't even keep track of mine.
Wasn't that MK1? Katana Khan?
No, that was MK11.
Oh, even worse. Oh.
But what about the MK1 version?
The MK1 version. Ed Boon tier, man. I'm sorry. It's everything about MK1.
Cabal?
Cabal's cream of the crop, man. Iconic. One of the most fan favorite characters out there ever since his inception in Cabal was originally supposed to be in MK2, turned into Baraka, and then we see him in MK3, UMK. Just an iconic character. Great people. His story is kind of meh. Nobody really. He's so cool. Nobody cares though. He's an iconic character.
Aaron Black.
The king of assless chaps. It might be the greatest jobber in history. Is Aaron Black? Has a gun, tries to shoot people, never does. Aaron Black. I'll put him in kind of cool, but I can't go any higher than that.
Yeah, he's like the coolest jobber. Tremor.
Tremor is iconic, man, but just not enough on him, you know. So I'm gonna put him in kind of cool, just not enough. You know, he's an icon, just not enough. He's only in one game. He's one game away from being in the next tier up.
Yeah, I mean, MK1 don't count because he's just a cameo. Kano.
Kano's iconic, man. I'm gonna put him in. He's part of the original story,
Yeah.
and the whole Kano Sonya dynamic. I'm gonna put him in cream of the crop. Huge fan favorite character. People loved him in MK1. They loved him in MK3. Huge lore in MK2 with possible Kano transformation, etc. People love the character. The Harper fatality, iconic. Just an iconic character.
How about Sonya then? Because there's
Also
no new
iconic.
Sonya.
Also
Yeah.
iconic. The original Sarah Connor of fighting games, I would say. It
Yeah.
would be her and Chun-Li, but iconic. She wasn't forced. It just shows that they're able to do powerful female characters without forcing it. And Sonya is as badass as they come. Great story, great play style, iconic moves. Except for MK11, when it wasn't Sonya, it was Ronda Rousey. And I still say, if anybody, and I will donate $500 to charity on a live stream if somebody can make a modded version of MK11, in which if you kick Sonya in the face, it takes 100% of her health, the same way Ronda Rousey was done.
Yeah, you got to make the other characters look like Holly Holm.
Yeah, I mean, it's Ronda Rousey. So, but she's an iconic character.
What about Jax?
Not as iconic as Sonya.
No.
I'm gonna put him in cleans up well.
Yeah, I would agree. Oops. All right, we're coming down to the last few now. Original Kenshi.
So the original Kenshi, spoiler, was going to be called Blind Kenshi, and his name was in the game Blind Kenshi until they realized we already know he's blind, so why don't we just call him Kenshi? I'm going to put Kenshi in kind of cool.
Who blinded him again? It was Ermac, right?
Wasn't it Shang Tsung?
It was Shang Tsung. I thought Ermac blinded him. What was his beef with Ermac? He had a beef with him at some point.
Not in the original, and then not in the Deadly Alliance. It was Shang Tsung, I believe. He was blinded in the well of his ancestors, in which Shang Tsung stole the souls of his ancestors from the tomb, his ancestral tomb.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Shang Tsung. It was Shang Tsung.
Ermac taught him Teleslam. Oh, okay. What about the new Kenshi?
Ed Boon tier.
Really? You didn't like the new Kenshi?
What's to like about him?
I thought the
No.
inclusion of the Yakuza was a pretty cool idea. There was something to go on there, right? No? All right, cool.
Get him out.
How about Scarlet?
This is an iconic character. Scarlet's an iconic character. But not iconic enough. She's a fan favorite. She's iconic, but just not around enough. I'm gonna put Scarlet in kind of cool.
I think her MK9 version was the coolest version of her. All right, Movado.
Mavado's crusty. Another red dragon. Get him out.
They need to work on that clan. Striker.
Striker's crusty. I mean, he's a mall cop that became a cop basically. A Striker, not cool. Nobody likes him. Ditto likes him. He's the only Striker fan. Nobody likes Striker. Nobody. Striker is like almost like in my opinion, he reminds me of the Dan of the Mortal Kombat world. I don't like him.
Jade.
Jade is actually really cool. I'm gonna put Jade in cleans up well. Hidden character in MK2, not around for enough games, but a near iconic character. One of the very top of the top. I can't put her in cream of the crop because she's just doesn't have what a lot of those other characters do.
Yeah, I think Jade's really cool, but I don't
Now
think
Rain is there. Why Rain and not Jade? Brother, he's named after Prince, you know. So I mean, what are you gonna do, man? Can't
Also,
beat him.
he's got that. Rain has got the iconic round the world kick.
Yep.
I don't know if Jade has any moves that are like super iconic.
They're not.
Devora.
Devora's really cool in her story, man. Devora's really cool pretty much in every story she's in X and in 11.
Don't like the fact that she killed Scorpion though.
True, but Devora's got really good stories. I'm gonna put her in kind of cool. She's the newcomer, but she's a really cool newcomer. Not gonna, yeah, she's not a fan favorite either. So it's I can't make her like an Ashra or someone like that because she's not a fan favorite.
What about Frost?
So Frost originally was going to be called genius idea, originality, Sub-Zero. Thank God they didn't do that. I mean, please.
Are you joking?
Nope, she was going to be called Sub-Zero.
I almost wish they did that. That's so dumb. Oh man, that's so dumb. It's so 90s.
Yeah. I mean, the brain trust over there. No pun intended. Frost is a really cool addition. Some of the additions they force on you. Frost, they built her story well in that struggle as Sub-Zero subordinate, wanting to take over the Lin Kuei. They built her story very well. Even her ending, like she overthrows Sub-Zero, but she is not disciplined and powerful enough to keep the Lin Kuei medallion, and it freezes her. It's almost like the Autobot matrix of leadership. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When when Ultra Magnus was like, "Yeah, I'll take it." Sure, like it's just not. People loved her in Deadly Alliance.
I don't think she's iconic though.
She's not. She's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think she's a high kind of cool. Like
she's a high kind of cool. Yeah.
Stupid mouse. And lastly, Onaga.
So this is interesting because Onaga has to be ranked as a boss, but he was only the boss of one game. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but Onaga's story is he was the original ruler of Outworld, and he was poisoned by Shao Kahn, correct?
Yeah, poisoned by him.
What a bitch move. Poisoned him.
Well, you couldn't beat him in a fight.
Couldn't beat him.
And he had one of the best like entrances that I've ever seen for a fighting game.
It's tough for me to get out of my head the narration of Shujinko. Onaga, the Dragon King. And Quan Chi is like, no, it cannot be. Like, right. These two just killed Liu Kang and took down Shao Kahn. And then you
Raiden.
team Raiden there, and they still couldn't touch him.
Yeah, all three of them couldn't stop him. And Raiden did Final Explosion, basically, and it still didn't stop him.
I've got to put Onaga in cream of the crop, man. He's the only exemption I'm going to give, man, to not around long enough. Onaga.
Yeah, bear in mind, Onaga was only playable in
He's
Armageddon, and
been
he's
the
been like
playable
one of
in
the most.
Armageddon, yeah.
He's one of the most requested characters to come back as well.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, just watch the the Deception intro, and I mean, you'll see.
yeah, well, those are all the characters, Tom. We managed to get through it in 3 hours.
I think obviously there are going to some that disagree. Like for example, Aaron Black. There are some that are going to put Aaron Black higher. It's like I feel like Aaron Black, the Tekken players that can't look at Haran cool because of the assless chaps. You know, like I can't. The assless chaps. You know, like he doesn't shoot anybody. You know, I don't know. It's kind of tough. Has a gun that nobody ever gets shot. Like I don't know.
I think his
You know,
X-ray in MKX was so cool though. Like he'd write your name on the bullet.
it was cool. It was cool. In as far as the MK1 stuff, listen, MK1 has ended Mortal Kombat as we know it right now.
Sadly.
It's the first time Ed Boon had to hear, listen, you made another version of the game and nobody's buying it. So we're going to have to pull it. That is probably, he has never heard those words. That's MK1.
C4, thank you for the £2. Pick one character. Who would you give a redesign to?
In MK1, all of them. In over Mortal Kombat lore, who would I give a redesign to? That's a really good question, man. Shinnok. MK4 Shinnok. I would give him a redesign.
I would redesign Blaze. I would because Blaze, I like lava characters. For those of you who know that I watch One Piece, Akainu is my favorite character outside of Zoro. If there's a lava character, like if there's a lava Pokemon like Magma, I'll gravitate towards them. So I was very disappointed to see him in the fashion that he was. So I would redesign him. I'd completely redesign Blaze.
Yeah.
I would actually make him a proper boss because the lava power is a pretty awesome thing, and they just wasted it. So yeah, Blaze would be the first one that I go to.
True. Overall, it's just it hurts me to see the state that MK is in because it's such an iconic title. And you will never see a game in which people are trying to like, and they still can't like it. You know, Fatal Fury, these games, you don't have people that want to love it. I think most people want to love Mortal Kombat. And that's, by the way, the answer to the question of the Ice Clone, the original name of the move was called Decoy.
Decoy.
That's
so lame. Thank God they changed it. That's really lame.
Yep.
That would work for like a regular Shadow clone, not an Ice clone.
Yeah, Decoy. Is CJ in here so I could mop him up really quick?
Yeah, he was here. CJ, don't go quiet now. Let me drop him the link on Twitter. He's normally on there.
Yeah. CJ on here so I could mop him up real quick with my spare time.
Come on, CJ. Don't disappoint now. You don't want to be seen as one of those Twitter yappers. Let me
Yeah, I mean, overall it's an iconic franchise. Man, get on here, CJ. Come on. State your beef. Come on, CJ. I got time for one. Only one. Come on, CJ. Let me end you very quickly.
Oh, here he is. I've sent you the link on Twitter, CJ. So
This will be an easy one.
yeah, let's see if he shows up. So some people talk a lot and then comes down to crunch time. The link's in your inbox, CJ. I'm going to put this tier list on Twitter later on for people to reference. C4, thank you for the £2. If you could change any move name, which one and what to? Which one? And what?
Any move name? That's a good one.
CJ's here, by the way. We'll just answer the super chat and then I'll bring him in.
Wow, that's a good question.
Which name will that change? What is Sonya's move called? The kicks? Is it just up kicks?
Upward bike kick, I think. I don't know the proper name of it. Wow. What a question. If I think through all the moves, what would I rename?
I would change Shinnok's Kamidogu move. You know that the amulet thing. I would change it to Kami got you. So every time he does it, he shouts Kami got you. I think that would be pretty cool.
I think I would change. MK has so many moves that have generic names. Dash punch, right?
That's the problem. That they ain't got proper names.
Right. They just have generic names.
Scorpion Spears just get over here, right?
Yeah, or like harpoon, whatever they call it. I think I would rename Raiden Superman. Because even though they gave it the name Electric Fly, nobody calls it the Electric Fly. Call it Torpedo or the Superman. I think I would probably call it something with lightning. Maybe like or maybe Thunder. He's a thunder god, right? Call it like his thundercloud or something like that. You know, something to do with him, you know.
Thunderflash.
Thunderflash, something that's quick to say.
And what was Sub's clone of G-Man?
It was the decoy. All right, come on in, CJ.
Can you hear us, CJ?
All right, CJ, state your beef with me. State your position.
I think you're muted, CJ. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, state your beef. State your position. Yes.
Hello, what beef? What beef? What beef?
You're always like Tom.
What beef,
I was
Tom?
right.
Hey, Tom.
Like